Let us begin. Close your eyes. Allow the day to dissolve like salt in a warm sea. The room around you, with its familiar shapes and shadows, softens at its edges. The sounds of your world begin to fade, the quiet hum of machines, the distant whisper of a passing car. They are stars winking out one by one in the deep sky of your mind. Listen now only to the gentle rhythm of your own breathing, in and out, a slow and steady tide upon a quiet shore. You are a vessel adrift on a calm and silent ocean of darkness. There is nothing left to do. There is nowhere you must be. There is only this moment, this stillness, this gentle letting go. Imagine time not as a clock, with its insistent forward march. See it instead as a great, ancient scroll. It is made of something like papyrus, impossibly long and rolled tightly at both ends. One end is the future, a page yet to be written. The other end is the past, filled with stories and sunlight and the golden dust of ages. Tonight we will gently unroll that scroll. We will travel backward, not with noise or with speed, but with a quiet and effortless drift. Feel the anchor of the present moment release. It is a soft, subtle loosening. We float away from the solid shore of the 21st century. The air itself seems to change around you. It grows warmer, softer. It carries the scent of dry earth, of sun-baked stone. And there is a faint, floral perfume from a garden that has not bloomed for nearly 2,000 years. The darkness behind your eyes is no longer empty. It has become a deep, velvet curtain waiting for a scene to appear. And now, far away, on the distant horizon of your imagination, a single point of light emerges. It is the color of old gold. It is the dawn, a morning sun rising over 7 low hills. Our journey is beginning. Before the city there is only the quiet, a deep and gentle darkness that holds you now. It is not an empty dark, but a full one. It is filled with the deep, slow breath of slumbering time. The air is cool against your skin, a soft touch that carries no message, no hint of wind or weather. It feels like the air from a deep well, ancient and undisturbed. There is a scent on this slow-moving air, carried from a place that has no name. It is the smell of dust and distance, of clay that has not yet been shaped by a potter's hand. It is the scent of stone that has not seen the sun for 1,000 years. It is the faint perfume of rain that has yet to fall upon a dry and thirsty land. You are floating here in this peaceful twilight between worlds. There are no walls around you, no ceiling above. There are no floors beneath you, only the sensation of being held in a soft and endless space. There is only the gentle velvet dark and the silence. The silence is a physical thing, a presence you can almost feel. It is a soft blanket, woven from threads of stillness and forgotten lullabies. It settles over you, warm and heavy like wool. It muffles the sound of your own thoughts, turning them into slow, drifting clouds of vapor. Listen closely to this profound quiet. Can you hear the sound inside of it? Beneath the great silence there is a gentle hum. It is the sound of possibility. It is the sound of a world dreaming of itself, a melody without notes. You are a traveler in this place of becoming. You are a visitor to an age that is waiting to be born. In this soft abyss, memory is a liquid thing. It pools in the darkness all around you, cool and clear and waiting. Imagine reaching out. Imagine letting it touch your fingertips. It feels like pure water from a secret mountain spring. Soon, this liquid memory will take shape. Soon, this patient darkness will begin to gather itself. It will pull together into shapes and forms you almost recognize. It will build streets from long shadows. It will raise walls from faint whispers. The low hum grows just a little louder, a vibration you feel more than you hear. A single point of light, no bigger than a lost star, flickers in the far, far distance. It is a promise. It is the first hearth fire of a world that will soon awaken. For now, just float. Rest here in the great, peaceful waiting room of history. The world is not yet ready for you, but it is dreaming of your arrival. It is gathering its strength. It is preparing its stories, arranging its sunlight and its stones. And the first story begins with the slow, steady beat of a single, sleeping heart. The single point of light begins to breathe. It expands, not with a sudden flash, but like a drop of golden ink spreading on dark paper. It is a slow, liquid dawn. This gentle light does not chase the darkness away. It coaxes it into new forms. The shadows soften, they gather themselves into the hollows and folds of a sleeping land. The world is taking a deep, slow breath. The light spills over the crests of low hills, 7 of them, their backs curved like slumbering animals. The golden wash of light reveals their texture, a soft covering of earth and stone. The low hum you heard before begins to change. It rises in pitch ever so slightly. It becomes the sound of air moving for the first time, a long and gentle sigh. This first wind whispers over the new land, testing the contours of the hills, rustling leaves that have only just appeared. And with the wind comes a new collection of scents. The air, once so clean and empty, now carries the rich perfume of damp soil. It smells of wet rock and the deep, green fragrance of moss. The light continues its slow journey and it finds water. A ribbon of silver, a quiet river, snakes its way between the hills. It makes the first sound of motion, a soft shushing over stones that have been smooth for 10,000 years. The river reflects the growing light, casting shimmering patterns on its own banks. Now the land drinks in the warmth. You can feel a change in the air, a subtle shift from cool stillness to living warmth. The light is like a warm hand on the earth's cheek, waking it from a long and dreamless sleep. The hills seem to stretch. The river seems to flow with a little more purpose. The trees, ancient olives and dark cypresses, stand as silent witnesses, their leaves shimmering in the new morning. The stage is now set. The world is awake, but it is empty. It is a beautiful, silent place, filled with the scent of green things and the sound of moving water. It is a world waiting for a story to begin. It listens for the first footstep. It waits for the first human voice to give a name to the river and the hills. The sun is now higher in the sky. It warms the smooth stones by the river's edge. It draws the scent of pine from the scattered trees that cling to the hillsides. The world is awake and breathing a slow, steady rhythm. The deep silence is now embroidered with tiny sounds. A bird calls out, a single, liquid note that hangs in the air and then dissolves. On a sun-drenched rock, a lizard does a quick, silent push-up, a small green jewel come to life. The wind rustles through the tall grasses by the river, making a sound like soft, dry rain. These are the small, quiet heartbeats of the living world. They are sounds that deepen the silence rather than breaking it. Your attention is drawn down from the wide view of the 7 hills to a particular curve in the river. Here, the water slows. It pools in a gentle basin. The bank is soft with fine sand and silt, a perfect place to land a simple boat. The land seems to hold its breath. The air is still. The earth here seems different. It feels fertile, expectant. It holds the memory of 1,000,000 seeds, and it waits for the one that will become a city. Look closer at the ground. There is a faint line in the dirt, a shadow on the grass. It is not a road. It is barely a path. It is the ghost of a trail left by deer coming to the water to drink. It is a line of instinct, a living map of thirst and safety. It winds from the shelter of the trees down to the soft, sandy bank. This faint trail is a question asked by the animals, and the river is the answer. It is the first sentence in a long story that has not yet been written. The sun continues its silent climb. The warmth becomes a comfortable weight on your shoulders, a gentle pressure that urges you to rest. The light has lost its early gold and is now the bright, clear white of midday. The world is complete. It is a perfect, untouched moment. But it is a moment that cannot last. The waiting is almost over. Listen. Past the whisper of the grass, past the murmur of the river, a new sound is gathering just beyond the edge of hearing. It is not the sound of nature. It is the sound of purpose. It is the sound of a human heart beating with a steady, determined rhythm, walking toward this very spot. The sound grows clearer now. It is not just a feeling anymore. It is the steady cadence of footsteps on soft earth. A rhythm as old as walking. From the cool, blue-green shadows of the cypress grove, a shape emerges into the sunlight. It is a man. He does not stride with hurry, but moves with the slow confidence of one who has arrived at his journey's end. His tunic is simple, the color of undyed wool, and it carries the dust of many miles. His sandals are made of thick leather, worn smooth by his travels. The sun warms his dark hair and his skin, which is tanned the color of fired clay. He carries the scent of the wilder places with him, of pine and dry grass. He walks down the faint animal trail, his gaze fixed on the place where the land meets the water. He stops at the river's edge. The world seems to hold its breath. With a slow and deliberate motion, he kneels on the sandy bank. He reaches out and places a hand into the cool, clear water. The river murmurs as it parts around his fingers. 1,000 tiny ripples spread out from his touch, glittering like scattered coins in the sun. In that quiet moment, a pact is sealed. It is a silent agreement between a human heart and the ancient soul of the earth. His touch is a promise. His presence is an anchor. His long shadow falls upon the ground, a dark shape that holds the future within it. It is the first blueprint, the first idea of a home drawn upon the land. The world is no longer just a place, it is a destination. The silence is no longer empty. It is filled with the calm of human presence. He remains there, kneeling by the water, listening. He listens to the deep and patient hum of the land itself, a song of welcome. And as he listens, you can listen too. Feel the gentle current against your skin. Feel the warm sun on your back. Let the story begin to flow around you, as steady and as peaceful as the river itself. The man slowly draws his hand from the water. Droplets of silver fall from his fingertips, each one making a tiny, perfect circle in the river's surface. They are quiet notes added to the water's gentle song. He watches them disappear. Then he closes his hand, feeling the coolness of the river cupped in his palm. He lifts his gaze. His eyes travel from the glittering water to the soft curve of the land. He looks at the hills one by one. They are not just mounds of earth to him, they are guardians. Their long, sloping shoulders hold the sky. Their peaks are silent watchtowers against the vast and empty blue. His gaze sweeps over the trees. He sees the dark, somber cypress standing straight and still like a patient thought. He sees the gnarled olive trees, their silver-green leaves shimmering in the light. They are old-timers, storytellers whose tales are written in their twisted bark. The man takes a long, slow breath. The air he draws in is clean and new. The air he breathes out is a warm cloud of life that mingles with the ancient air of the place. He has become part of its atmosphere. He lays his wet hand on the dry earth beside him. He feels the fine, warm dust coat his skin. He feels the solid weight of the world beneath his palm. It is a feeling of foundation. It is a feeling of home. A gentle wind rises, carrying the scent of wild herbs and warm stone. It rustles the leaves and makes the tall grass bow. It feels like a welcome. The sun has begun its slow arc downward, and the light is softening. The bright white of midday is melting back into the honeyed gold of late afternoon. The shadows of the hills stretch out like long sleeping arms, reaching for the river. The first day is ending, but this is not an end. It is a beginning. The man has not built a fire. He has not raised a shelter. He has simply arrived. And his quiet presence has transformed this wild place into a landscape of purpose. Here he will rest. Here he will dream. And in his dreams, the first stones of a city will be laid. The light begins to fade. The sun sinks behind the farthest hill, leaving behind a beautiful bruise of purple and rose on the clouds. The world does not fall into darkness all at once. It is a slow, gentle transition, a dimming of the great lamp. The warmth of the day retreats from the land. You can feel it lifting like a warm blanket being slowly pulled away. A new coolness rises from the ground, carrying the scent of damp earth and the deep, clean smell of night-blooming flowers you cannot see. The man on the riverbank watches the last sliver of sun disappear. The air grows cool on his skin. He moves with a slow and ancient rhythm. He gathers a small collection of fallen branches and dry leaves. He builds a small fire, not a great roaring blaze, but a quiet companion for the night. Its flames are a flicker of captured sunlight. They paint dancing patterns of orange and black on the smooth stones of the riverbank. The fire crackles softly, a warm and living sound against the deep quiet of the night. The river, which was a gentle murmur in the day, seems to speak more clearly now. Its voice is a continuous soothing whisper. The night has its own choir. From the tall grasses, the crickets begin their timeless, rhythmic chant. It is a sound so steady, so constant, that it soon becomes a part of the silence itself. The man looks up at the sky. It is a vast canopy of the deepest indigo. One star appears, then another. Soon the sky is filled with a glittering dust of light, a river of stars that mirrors the dark river on the earth below. The man lies down on the cool ground, near the small circle of his fire's warmth. He watches the sparks float upward, like tiny wishes dissolving into the immense darkness. The earth beneath him is solid and real. The sound of the water is a gentle lullaby. He closes his eyes, and the world becomes a soft collection of sensations. The warmth of the fire on his face, the cool air on his back, the steady song of the river in his ears. He is drifting now on the edge of the first sleep in this new place. And as he sleeps, you can rest with him, feeling the deep peace of this first quiet night, safe within the cradle of the 7 hills. The fire beside the sleeping man burns low. Its bright orange life has faded. Now it is just a bed of glowing embers. Each ember is a small, sleeping sun pulsing with a slow, quiet rhythm. The world is held in the deepest part of the night. The moon has climbed high, and its pale silver light washes over the land. It touches the man's face, still and calm in sleep. But the story has not stopped. It has simply moved inward. It has followed him into the silent country of his dreams. In his dream, the landscape is the same. The 7 hills are still there, their dark shapes etched against a sky full of stars. The river still whispers its endless story as it flows to a sea he cannot see. But the land is no longer empty. It is filled with a new kind of light. Faint, glowing lines trace paths across the earth. They are lines of pure thought. They are the first streets drawn not with a plough, but with a wish. They wind around the bases of the hills. They meet and cross in wide, open spaces that will one day be filled with people. From these glowing lines, shapes begin to rise. They are not made of wood or stone. They are made of mist and memory. On the tallest hill, the faint outline of a temple appears, a phantom of devotion against the stars. Along the river, the ghostly shape of a low stone wall takes form, a promise of safety. You can see the idea of a doorway. You can sense the form of a roof. These are the city's first buildings, born as quiet thoughts in a sleeping mind. They are weightless. They are silent. They are perfect. The air in this dream city is still. But if you listen, there is a new sound. It is not the chirp of crickets or the murmur of water. It is the faint, collective hum of 10,000 voices that have not yet spoken. It is the echo of footsteps on paving stones that have not yet been cut. The man sleeps on, his breathing slow and even. He does not know that he is a creator. He does not know that his quiet dream is a blueprint for an empire. He is simply resting, and in his rest the foundations of a great city settle into the earth. The seed has been planted. It is a seed of stone and order. All through the long, peaceful night, watered by the slow river of his sleep, it begins to grow. The long night turns toward morning. In the east, the edge of the sky begins to soften, changing from deep indigo to a cool, soft grey. This first light is a quiet messenger. It steals into the dream city and touches the ghostly buildings with its pale fingers. The glowing lines of the streets begin to flicker. The phantom temple on the hill grows transparent, a beautiful memory dissolving in the tide of waking. The city of thought does not crumble. It simply fades. It returns to the deep well of the sleeper's mind, leaving the land once more empty and wild. The man by the dying embers stirs. His dream recedes like a gentle tide, pulling its images back into the ocean of sleep. He surfaces slowly, not with a jolt, but like a diver rising from a great depth. The first sound he hears is the real sound of the river. The first thing he feels is the cool, damp morning air on his face. He opens his eyes. The world is washed in grey light. The moon is a pale coin hanging in the western sky, its power spent. The stars have retreated, leaving only one or two stubborn sparks behind. He sits up, the wool of his tunic damp with dew. He does not remember the glowing streets. He cannot recall the misty shape of the temple. The dream has left him, but it has left a gift behind. It has left a feeling, a deep and unshakable sense of certainty. He looks at the landscape before him, at the curve of the river and the silent shapes of the hills. Yesterday, it was a beautiful, wild place. This morning, it is a canvas. It is a page waiting for a story. The land feels different to him now. He sees the natural slope that is perfect for a road. He sees the high ground that is waiting for a fortress. The dream is gone, but its blueprint remains, etched not in his memory, but in his very bones. As the first edge of the sun appears over the hill, its golden light spills across the land. It strikes the man's face, and he does not blink. He simply watches. The night of dreaming is over. The day of building has begun. The sun warms the man's face. He gets to his feet in a slow, unfolding motion. The dew has vanished from the ground. The world is new and dry and waiting. He picks up a sharp stone. He walks to a patch of bare earth. He bends down and draws a long, straight line in the dirt. It is the first mark. It is a simple scratch on the skin of the world. It is a declaration. The days begin to pass, one after another, like beads on a string. The sun becomes a familiar traveler, making its daily journey from one hill to another. The moon follows a silent guardian, turning the river to a road of liquid silver each night. The man works. His solitary movements are a slow dance with the land. He draws more lines. He clears away stones. He marks the place for the first wall, the first home. His work is a quiet conversation with the earth. Then, one afternoon, he is no longer alone. Another figure emerges from the trees. Another arrives in a boat that glides silently to the riverbank. They do not speak at first. They simply watch. They are drawn by the same silent call that brought the first man. They carry the same dream in their bones. They see the lines in the dirt, and they understand. The silence is slowly transformed. The sound of a single pair of feet becomes the soft shuffle of many. A lone voice is joined by the low murmur of others, voices that are calm and measured. The air begins to carry a new scent. It is the smell of fresh cut wood, a clean and sharp perfume. It is the smell of clay being mixed with water. It is the faint, pleasing aroma of wood smoke from a dozen small fires instead of one. The solitary rhythm of one man working becomes a quiet symphony. You can hear the gentle scrape of a spade in the earth. You can hear the soft thud of a wooden mallet on a post. You can hear the rhythmic tap, tap, tap of a hammer on stone. These are not loud or jarring sounds. They are the gentle, industrious sounds of a city breathing itself into existence. They are the soft heartbeats of a new world. They are a lullaby of creation, a peaceful rhythm to carry you into your own quiet dreams. Time passes, it does not march forward in this new place. It flows, soft and slow like the river. The sun and the moon are patient timekeepers, trading the sky back and forth in a silent, endless rhythm. The seasons arrive and depart like gentle visitors. They paint the 7 hills in the pale green of spring, the deep gold of summer, and the soft brown of autumn. And with each turning season, the small settlement grows. It expands not like a conquering army, but like a patch of sun-dappled moss spreading over a stone. The lines scratched in the dirt have vanished. In their place are real paths worn smooth by the tread of many feet. The first simple huts of wood and clay have been joined by others. They huddle together for warmth and company, their thatched roofs like the soft brown wings of sleeping birds. The air is thicker now, carrying a more complex story. The clean scent of cut pine is still there, but it is joined by the constant, reassuring smell of wood smoke from 100 hearths. In the morning, you can smell bread baking, a warm and wholesome perfume that speaks of community. The sounds have changed too. The quiet tapping of the first builder has become a gentle, continuous hum of activity. It is a soundscape woven from many soft threads. Listen closely. You can hear the distant rhythmic knock of a mallet on wood. You can hear the soft scrape of a potter's tool against wet clay. You can hear the low creak of an ox cart, its wooden wheels turning slowly on a dirt track. These are the sounds of a place that is alive, but not yet loud. It is a city in its childhood, full of a quiet and purposeful energy. Reach out and touch the wall of a new building. The sun has baked the mud and straw bricks to the warmth of a living thing. The surface is rough and honest under your fingertips. It holds the memory of the hands that shaped it. The first dream has taken root. It has grown from a seed of thought into a small, breathing town, nestled safely in the arms of the ancient hills. Let your focus drift from the wide view of the town. Let it settle like a butterfly on a single, sunlit path. Follow this path as it winds between the simple houses. It leads you to a place of making. In a shelter open to the air, a blacksmith works. He is not a man of great noise or fury. His movements are a slow and practiced ballet. The forge breathes a soft orange light. Its heat shimmers in the air, a visible warmth. He pulls a piece of iron from the glowing coals. It is not angry red, but a beautiful, living yellow, the color of a captured sunbeam. He lays it on the anvil. The hammer rises and falls. Its sound is not a crash, but a clear, ringing note. It is a song of purpose. Each strike is a conversation with the metal. He is not breaking it. He is persuading it to find a new shape. The metal yields, slowly, gracefully. It becomes the strong, curved blade of a farming tool, a simple knife, or a sturdy nail. The air smells of hot iron and cooling stone, a clean and powerful scent. Nearby, in the cool shade of a doorway, a woman sits with a loom. Her work is a different kind of song, a quieter melody. A cloud of raw wool sits beside her in a basket, smelling faintly of lanolin and summer fields. Her fingers are in constant, gentle motion, teasing the fibers, spinning them into a single, strong thread. The thread grows and grows, winding onto a wooden spindle that turns with a soft, whirring sound. It is a long, unbroken thought being spun into existence. On the loom, the threads are stretched tight, a wooden harp waiting for a tune. The shuttle, a smooth piece of polished wood, glides back and forth. It is a small boat navigating a sea of threads, weaving the weft through the warp. Its journey is a quiet, rhythmic beat. Thump, slide, thump, slide. A sturdy piece of cloth grows inch by inch, a warm and solid fabric born from these small, repeated movements. These two rhythms, the ringing hammer and the whispering loom, are the two hearts of the town. One is strong and loud, the other is soft and steady. Together they beat in a slow, peaceful harmony, weaving the fabric of a new life. Beyond the sound of the hammer and the whisper of the loom, the world opens up. The small cluster of houses gives way to the fields. Here the earth has been turned, laid open to the warm gaze of the sun. The soil is dark and rich, a deep chocolate brown. It holds the scent of 1,000 rains and 1,000,000 fallen leaves. Men move slowly across this landscape. They do not hurry. Their work is a meditation. They follow the patient tread of oxen, their hands resting on the smooth, worn wood of a simple plough. The ploughshare cuts a straight, dark line in the earth. It is a line of purpose, a sentence written on a blank page. The soil parts with a soft sigh, releasing its cool, damp perfume into the air. The men's feet are bare against the ground. They can feel the texture of their world, the fine grit of sand, the soft give of the loam. They are not walking on the land. They are walking with it. In the fields that have already been ploughed and planted, new life is stirring. Tiny green shoots have pushed their way through the dark soil. They stand in neat, patient rows. They are small green flags of hope, a fragile promise of a future harvest. They seem to listen to the sun, turning their small leaves up to its light. A boy walks slowly between these rows. He carries a clay pot filled with water from the river. He pours a little at the base of each plant. The water darkens the soil around the roots, a small, dark blessing. It is a quiet and careful task. There is no sound but the soft whisper of the water and the distant hum of the town. These fields are the town's other heart, a green and living one that beats with the slow rhythm of the seasons. In these dark furrows and tender shoots, the community is planting its own survival. It is a slow, quiet investment of hope and care, and the earth, in its own silent way, is already beginning to pay it back. Now let your gaze drift from the quiet labor of the fields. Follow the gentle slope of the land back to the river. The river is the source of all this life. It is the town's calm and steady heartbeat. Its surface, in the bright afternoon sun, is a sheet of beaten gold, wrinkled by the softest of breezes. Here, along the muddy banks, a different kind of quiet work unfolds. Under the leaning branches of an old willow tree, a man is mending a net. The net is a delicate web of thin cords lying in a heap beside him. It smells of the river, of weeds and water, and the faint memory of fish. His hands, gnarled and brown as the tree's roots, move with a slow, hypnotic grace. He finds the broken threads. He ties new knots, his fingers performing a small, intricate dance that he learned a lifetime ago. A little farther downstream, a small, flat-bottomed boat floats, tethered to a wooden post driven into the bank. It rocks with a motion, so slight, so gentle, it is almost imperceptible. It is a slow, liquid breath. An old man sits in the boat, his back to the town, his face to the slow-moving water. He is fishing. His posture is one of complete stillness, of deep listening. He is listening to the river's secret language, a language told in ripples and shadows. He is part of the scenery, as still as the reeds that grow in the shallows. The only sound is the soft lap of the water against the wooden hull of his boat. The only movement is the slow drift of a dragonfly, its wings a shimmer of blue glass. The river is the town's first road. It brought the first people here. It carries their small boats. It whispers promises of a world downstream, a world they are not yet ready to meet. But most of all, the river is a place of peace. It is a place to watch the light change, to feel the sun on your skin, and to listen to the soft, endless voice of the water. It is a place that washes away the cares of the day, leaving only a deep and profound calm. Rest here for a moment, by the water's edge. Let the river's gentle rhythm become your own. Let it soothe you. Let it carry you toward the quiet harbor of sleep. As the sun dips lower, the light transforms. The bright gold of the afternoon softens into a deep, warm orange. The long shadows of the houses stretch like tired arms across the dirt paths, reaching for the cool of the evening. The work of the day does not end with a sudden clang. It unwinds gently, like a thread being slowly let out. The blacksmith's hammer gives its last clear ring, a final note that hangs in the air, and then dissolves into the growing quiet. The orange breath of the forge sighs and dims. The rhythmic thump of the weaver's loom falls silent. The shuttle rests, its journey done for the day. In the fields, the farmers unhitch their patient oxen and begin the slow walk home, their shoulders sloped with a good day's weariness. The fisherman poles his boat to the bank, the sound of the wood against the muddy bottom, a soft, final punctuation mark. Now the paths of the town fill with the slow, homeward drift of its people. Their footsteps make a soft, shuffling sound in the dust. Their voices are low, a gentle murmur that is not conversation so much as a shared hum of contentment. The air is filled with the scent of their labor, of warm iron and dusty wool, of turned earth and river water. It is the perfume of a day well spent. As they reach their simple doorways, a new and comforting scent begins to rise and mingle in the cooling air. It is the aroma of wood smoke and roasting vegetables, of soup simmering over 100 small fires. It is the universal scent of evening, the smell of return. The town as a whole seems to take a long, slow breath and let it out in a sigh of peace. The houses begin to glow, one by one, their windows filled with the soft, flickering light of clay lamps. The little settlement becomes a scatter of earthbound stars, each one a small haven of warmth and rest. This is the simple, powerful rhythm of their lives, a day of purpose, followed by a night of peace, a time for making and a time for mending. Feel this gentle rhythm now. Let it be the soft and steady beat that carries you toward your own restful sleep. The night deepens outside. The 7 hills have dissolved into the dark, and the river has become a ribbon of black silk under the moon. But here, inside one of these small houses, the world is warm and close. The 4 walls are made of earth and straw. They seem to lean in slightly as if sharing a secret. A single clay lamp sits on a rough wooden table. Its small flame is a living thing, a tiny golden heart that pushes back the great dark. It throws long, dancing shadows that make the small room feel like a deep, quiet cave. A family is gathered in this soft light. The father of the family sits near the hearth, his hands resting on his knees. The firelight flickers on his face, smoothing away the lines of the long day. He is not speaking. He is just watching the flames, his thoughts slow and quiet. A mother moves softly through the shadows, her bare feet making no sound on the packed earth floor. She covers a sleeping child with a blanket of thick, coarse wool. The child's breath is a soft, warm whisper in the quiet room. The air is warm. It carries the comforting smell of the evening meal, a simple stew of vegetables and herbs. The sharp scent of pine smoke from the hearth mixes with the dry, sweet smell of the thatched roof. On the table, an empty wooden bowl is still warm to the touch. It holds the memory of shared food. The only sounds are the soft crackle of the fire and the steady song of the crickets outside the door. These are the sounds of safety. These are the sounds of peace. The house itself seems to breathe with the sleeping family. It is more than wood and mud. It is a vessel. It holds their dreams. It keeps them safe from the vast, star-filled night outside. Rest here in the gentle quiet of this simple home. Feel the warmth of the small fire. Listen to the soft sounds of sleep. This is the heart of the young city. It is not a place of power or of stone. It is a place of deep, human peace, a peace that you can share tonight as you drift into your own dreams. Slowly, let your attention drift away from the single, warm house. Rise up into the cool night air. Look down upon the small town from above. It is no longer a collection of separate homes. In the deep quiet of the night, it has become a single, sleeping creature. The last embers in the hearths and the few remaining lamps are its scattered, glowing thoughts. The soft, collective breath of its people is the slow and steady rise and fall of its own breathing. The whole town lies curled in the dark valley, held safely in the strong, silent arms of the 7 hills. The river murmurs a lullaby that has no beginning and no end. The moon pours its silent silver light over everything. It touches the soft, shaggy texture of the thatched roofs. It makes the worn dirt paths gleam like faint scars on the dark earth. In the shared dream of this sleeping town, the future is being built. It is a quiet and invisible construction project. The simple walls of mud and straw become the foundations for something stronger. The shared hopes of the people are the mortar that will bind stones together. Their desire for a safe place for their children is the blueprint for walls that will one day stand tall against the sky. This is a different dream from the first man's solitary vision. This dream is warmer. It is woven from 100 different threads of hope and memory. It is a dream of community. The silence is deep and profound. It is a silence filled not with emptiness, but with potential. It is the silence of a seed in the dark earth, holding a whole forest within it. The young city sleeps. It is gathering its strength. It is resting in the deep peace of its own making. Let this profound peace settle over you now. Rest with the sleeping town and let its quiet, hopeful dream become your own. The darkest hour of the night gives way. The moon has finished its long, silent patrol and slipped below the horizon. The great collective dream of the town has been dreamed. The peace is at its deepest, a perfect, polished stone of quiet. But even in this deep stillness a change is coming. A single line of pale grey appears in the east, a single thread pulled from the dark fabric of the sky. This is the dawn of a new idea. The light that follows is not the gentle, hesitant light of the first mornings. It has a new purpose, a new clarity. It spills over the hills and rushes into the valley like a silent golden river. It touches the thatched roofs, and the dew upon them flashes like a field of scattered diamonds. It washes over the green fields and the dark, silent river. The town begins to breathe. A thin curl of smoke rises from a single hearth, a quiet signal that a new day has arrived. The light sweeps over the familiar dirt paths and the small, sleeping houses. And then it reveals something that was not there yesterday. Leading away from the heart of the town is a line of pale, flat stones. They have been laid with a new kind of care, a new precision. The line is straight and confident. It is the beginning of a true road. It does not meander. It does not follow the gentle curves of the land. It cuts its own path, pointing straight toward a pass in the distant hills. You can almost smell the dust of the chipped stones, a sharp and mineral scent. This road is more than a place to walk. It is a statement. It is a line of thought stretching out toward a world beyond this safe valley. It is the first artery of a heart that is just beginning to understand its own strength. The age of the simple village is ending. The era of the city is dawning, and the first step onto its grand stage is here, on this quiet road of stone, in the cool, clear light of a brand new morning. The people of the town wake to this new morning. They step from their warm, dark homes into the cool, bright air. Their feet, so used to the soft give of the dirt paths, find the hard, unyielding surface of the new stone road. They pause. They look down at this pale ribbon that has appeared overnight. It is a strange and beautiful scar on the familiar body of their world. They touch the stones with their toes. They are cool and solid. They feel ancient, as if they were buried here all along, waiting to be uncovered. The road smells of the deep earth from which the stones were taken, and of the clean, sharp dust of their cutting. It is the scent of a new kind of work, a work of permanence. The people look up from the road and follow its line with their eyes. It leads them past the last houses, past the edge of the green fields. It points like an arrow toward the world outside their valley. Before today, the world ended at the top of the 7 hills. Now the world has a door, and this road is the key. The air is still filled with the familiar sounds of morning. A baby cries, a dog barks, a rooster crows, but underneath these sounds there is a new quiet. It is a quiet of wonder, of contemplation. The town is no longer just a place to live. It has become a starting point. The gentle, inward-looking peace of the settlement is giving way to an outward-looking curiosity. The slow, circular rhythm of the seasons now has a new, straight line running through it. The story of this place is no longer only about the harvest and the hearth. It is about to become a story of journeys, of trade, of distant lands. The little town by the river has woken from its long and peaceful childhood, and this stone road is its first step into a larger, more complicated world. Let your thoughts walk this road now. Feel the solid stones beneath your feet. Follow its path out of the valley toward the rising sun and the beginning of a new chapter. The journey has just begun. The sun climbs higher in the sky. The cool morning air warms, and the road of pale stones seems to settle into the earth as if it has always been there. The people do not stand in silent wonder for long. The new road has woken something up inside them. It has changed the shape of their thoughts. A new energy begins to move through the town, a current that is calm but powerful. It is the feeling of a tide that has turned. Then a new sound joins the morning chorus. It is not the soft scrape of a hoe or the gentle thud of a loom. It is a slow, rhythmic rumble. Down the new stone road from the direction of the hills comes the first cart. Its wooden wheels, bound with iron, turns slowly on the flat stones. The sound is deep and resonant, a steady grinding that speaks of weight and purpose. It is the sound of connection. It is the sound of the world getting bigger. The cart is pulled by two strong oxen. It is filled with freshly cut blocks of stone, a pale grey that matches the road itself. The dust that rises from the wheels is not the soft, dark dust of the fields. It is a fine, white powder that smells of the quarry, of deep earth and fractured rock. The air of the town is changing. The old scents of river water and baking bread are now mixed with this new, clean, mineral smell. The sounds are changing too. The cart rumbles to a halt in a wide, open space that is not yet a square. Men begin to unload the stones, their voices low and directed. The quiet, individual rhythms of the town are beginning to merge into a larger, more organized beat. The age of mud and thatch is coming to a close. The age of stone has begun. The peace of the valley has not been shattered. It has been transformed. The gentle lullaby of the village is slowly becoming the first deep, powerful chord of a city. Let this new rhythm settle into you. It is the slow, steady heartbeat of a world expanding. It is a powerful and peaceful pulse, a straight and solid road to lead you into the deep country of your sleep. The patient turning of the years has passed. Time is no longer marked only by the greening of the hills or the silvering of the river. It is now measured by the height of new stone walls. The small settlement has inhaled deeply and is now exhaling a city. The air itself has changed. It is thicker now, filled with a fine, pale dust that seems to taste of the mountains. This dust catches the afternoon sun in long, golden shafts, turning the spaces between buildings into luminous cathedrals of light. It settles on everything, a soft white powder that is the ghost of the stones themselves. The sounds have deepened. The gentle hum of the old village has found a new voice. It is a slow, rhythmic chorus of creation. Listen. You can hear the steady, patient tapping of a mason's chisel. It is a sound like a stone woodpecker sending out a message of form and order. You can hear the wet, soft scrape of a trowel spreading mortar, a sound like a gentle sigh. The rumble of the stone carts is a constant low drone, the deep breathing of the growing city. These are not noises that jar the soul. They are the methodical, peaceful sounds of a dream being carefully assembled. The old houses of mud and thatch are retreating, huddling together like fond elders, watching their children grow tall. In their place, the new stone structures rise. Their walls are cool to the touch, even in the midday sun. They are solid and confident. They smell of the deep earth and the rain that fell 1,000 years ago. The city is learning a new language, a language of straight lines and right angles. It is a language of permanence. This slow, deliberate construction is a new kind of rhythm for your rest. Let the steady tap of the chisel be a gentle metronome, counting the moments until you drift into a deep and solid sleep built on foundations of peace. In the heart of this growing city, a great space has been cleared. It is not yet a grand public square. It is a wide, open wound in the earth waiting to be healed with stone. The sun pours into this space unfiltered by trees or tall buildings. It bakes the ground and warms the stacks of raw materials that lie in patient, ordered piles. Great wooden skeletons of scaffolding climb toward the sky. They are the temporary bones of the buildings that are to come. Men move upon them with a slow, careful grace, their figures dark against the bright blue canvas of the sky. They are not rushing. They are planting a forest of stone, and that is slow work. At the edge of the open space, masons kneel beside cut blocks of stone. They are checking the lines and angles, their eyes narrowed in concentration. One man holds up a plumb line, a simple weight on a string. It hangs perfectly still in the quiet air, a silent declaration of what is true and straight. He nods, satisfied. The soft scrape of his trowel as he lays the next stone is a small personal sound in the vast open air. Large, shallow basins hold the wet mortar. It is a thick, grey paste, the colour of a stormy sky. It gives off a sharp, clean smell, the scent of lime and sand and water. It is the glue that will hold this new world together. Neatly stacked nearby are thousands of terracotta roof tiles. They are the colour of dried blood or autumn leaves. They wait patiently, holding the warmth of the sun, dreaming of the day they will form a shield against the rain. This open space is a stage being set. The actors are the quiet, focused workers. The scenery is the raw material of the future. The play has not yet begun. For now, there is only the slow, quiet, methodical work of preparation. It is a piece born not of stillness, but of a deep and shared purpose. But the city is not only rising up, it is also reaching down. Beside the sunlit skeletons of the new buildings, deep trenches have been cut into the earth. They are long, straight wounds in the ground. To stand at the edge and look down is to look into a different world. The bright, noisy air of the surface vanishes. Down there, it is cool and quiet and smells of a deeper, older earth. It is the scent of wet clay and stone that has not seen the light for 1,000 years. Men work in these cool shadows. Their bodies are streaked with mud. Their movements are slow and deliberate. The sound of their work is muffled and hollow. You can hear the soft thud of earth being loaded into woven baskets. You can hear the grate of a shovel finding a stubborn rock. These men are not building something to be seen. They are creating the city's secret, hidden life. They are laying the foundations for its great drains. They work with massive, carefully cut stones, fitting them together to form long, dark tunnels. They are building a second river, a secret river that will flow beneath the paved streets. This river will not glitter in the sun. It will not have grassy banks, but it is just as vital. It is a promise of health. It is a guarantee of cleanliness. The workers are laying a deep and permanent foundation of order. They are shaping the city's unseen soul. The slow, patient work in these cool, dark trenches is a different kind of lullaby. It is the sound of deep things being made right. It is a steady, quiet rhythm from the heart of the earth itself, a deep and peaceful current to draw you down into your rest. Now lift your gaze from the growing city. Let your focus drift upward, past the busy center, toward the silent, sun-drenched hills that cup the valley. The air is different up here. It is thinner and cleaner, and it carries the wild, spicy scent of crushed thyme and dry grass. The only sound is the whisper of the wind as it combs through the sparse, hardy trees. But something new has come to these quiet slopes. A strange procession is making its way across the landscape. It is a line of great stone piers, marching one after another in a perfectly straight line. They are like the patient legs of some enormous sleeping creature. They stride over small valleys and across gentle slopes, their progress slow and measured, a work of decades, not days. The sounds of their making are small and sharp in the vast quiet. The clear, metallic ring of a single hammer striking a chisel carries for miles. A low murmur of voices is quickly swallowed by the wind. Here, the work is more about sight than about sound. Men stand beside simple wooden frames, squinting into the bright sun. They are not looking at the view. They are looking for a line, a perfect, almost imperceptible downward slope that only water would be able to feel. They are convincing the land to let a river flow where no river has ever flowed before. This long, slow line of stone is a promise. It is a stone artery being carefully laid to carry the cold, clear blood of the mountains down to the thirsty heart of the city below. The water does not flow yet. The channel is not yet complete. But the very existence of this patient, unwavering line of stone is a deep and powerful comfort. It is the peace of foresight. It is the quiet of a problem being solved, not for today, but for all the tomorrows to come. The sun begins its long, slow slide toward the western hills. The fierce white light of midday softens into a deep, liquid gold. This golden light finds its way into a simple tent pitched in the center of the great construction site. Inside, the air is still and warm, filled with the quiet, papery scent of old scrolls and new plans. A man sits at a rough wooden table. He is not a king or a general. He is an architect, a dreamer of stone. His face is lined with the sun and the dust, but his eyes are clear. Before him, a wide scroll is unrolled, its edges weighted down with smooth river stones. It is a map, not of what is, but of what will be. The ink on the papyrus is a frozen dream. Here is the long, unwavering line of the great water channel, a captured river marching down from the hills. Here is the wide, empty rectangle of the future public square, waiting for its pavement of voices and footsteps. Here are the dark, hidden lines of the great drains, the city's secret, silent rivers. The man traces a line with his finger, a line that is still just a thought on a piece of paper. As he does, the sounds from outside begin to change. The rhythm of the work is slowing. The last, lonely tap of a hammer echoes across the open space and then falls silent. The low rumble of the carts fades into the distance. A great quiet begins to settle over the city. It is the sound of 1,000 tools being laid down. It is the sound of a collective, weary sigh. The dust, which danced all day in the sun, begins to settle, a soft blanket of fine powder over everything. The architect rolls up his scroll. The dream is put to bed for the night. The city, which all day was a place of becoming, now simply is. It rests under the evening sky, a great, half-finished sculpture of stone and silence. Let this deep, earned quiet be your guide. It is the peace of a great work in progress, a slow and steady creation that you can join in your own restful sleep. The day has exhaled. From the half-finished buildings and the deep-cut trenches, the workers emerge. They move not in a rush, but in a slow, flowing river of weariness. Their footsteps on the stone paths are a soft, collective shuffle, the sound of 1,000 tired sighs. Their low voices are like the murmur of water over stones, conversations worn smooth by the long day. They walk out from the great open space, leaving it empty to the cooling air and the long purple shadows of the evening. The city changes its clothes. It takes off the dusty, rugged garments of work and puts on the soft, dark mantle of the night. The sharp smell of cut stone and wet lime begins to fade. It is replaced by a far more ancient and comforting scent. It is the smell of wood smoke rising from 1,000 hearths. It is the smell of bread and herbs and simmering pots. The men and women fan out, peeling away from the main river of people, turning down narrower streets. They find the doorways to their own homes, simple stone houses that are a small, quiet piece of the larger dream. As they disappear inside, the city is transformed again. The streets, which were rivers of people, become empty canyons. The houses, which were silent stone boxes all day, begin to glow from within. One by one, small rectangles of golden light appear in the growing darkness. Each light is a tiny, beating heart. Each one is a signal of return, a beacon of safety. The sounds of the city change completely. The chorus of construction is gone. In its place is a soft, domestic music. The clatter of a pot, the cry of a child being lifted into waiting arms, the low laughter from behind a closed door. The whole city is settling down, a great creature curling up to sleep. Let the feeling of this deep, earned rest settle over you. It is the profound peace that follows a day of purpose, a gentle tide to carry you home to your own quiet harbor. The last lamp in the last window goes out. The city gives itself over completely to the night. Now the moon takes charge. It rises over the eastern hills, a great silent lamp of polished silver. Its light is cool and thin. It does not warm the stones, it transforms them. The half-finished walls of the public buildings lose their dusty workaday look. Under the moon's gaze, they become ruins from the future, beautiful and mysterious. The wooden scaffolding is a forest of bare, white bones, its geometry stark and strange against the dark sky. The stacks of terracotta tiles glow with a soft, internal light, like embers that will not go out. The moon's light flows into the deep trenches of the new drains, a liquid silver that cannot fill the deep darkness. It paints the new stone road a pale, ghostly white, a path for dreams to walk upon. The sounds of the city are gone. The deep silence that follows is not an emptiness, it is a presence. It is heavy, like a soft, velvet blanket laid over the valley. It is filled with the faint echoes of the day, the memory of 1,000 hammer blows, the ghost of 1,000 voices. If you listen very carefully to this great quiet, you can almost hear the stones themselves breathing. They are settling into their new places, becoming a city. From the high hills, the long line of the unfinished water channel is a silver scar under the moon, a silent promise waiting to be fulfilled. The whole city is at rest. It is a great, sleeping project, a dream paused between one day's work and the next. Rest with it. Let the cool, silver light of the moon wash over your thoughts. Let the deep, profound silence of the sleeping city become your own. There is nothing to do now but be still. There is nothing to do but sleep. The city sleeps, but its dream is awake. In the deep, velvet heart of the night, the physical city of stone and dust gives way to its own spirit. It becomes its own perfect idea. Let your mind drift into this dream with it. Here, in this city of sleep, the wooden scaffolding has vanished as if it were never there. The walls of the great public buildings stand tall and complete, their stone as smooth and pale as polished bone in the endless moonlight. The great square is no longer an empty space of packed earth. It is paved with slabs of silent light. Ghostly figures drift across it, their forms woven from mist and memory. They leave no footprints. Their voices are the whisper of the wind in a place where no wind blows. They are the silent echo of all the people who will one day stand here, sharing news and stories. Listen. In the dream, the great water channel on the hills is no longer a dry and patient promise. A river of pure starlight flows through it, a silent, silver liquid that glides without friction. It makes no sound as it arrives in the city. It fills the phantom fountains in the square. The water leaps and falls in graceful, silent arcs, splashing without a single noise. The air tastes of this cool, clean water, the very idea of refreshment itself. And deep below the silent streets, the hidden drains are not dark and empty. They are filled with a soft, internal glow. They are the city's secret, luminous veins. Through them you can hear the slow, rhythmic breath of the city's soul. It is a deep and steady hum of perfect, effortless order. This dream city is the architect's scroll come to life. It is the finished poem. There is no dust here. There is no sweat from the long day. There is no weariness. There is only the cool, silent beauty of a thought made real and perfect. This is the deep and peaceful destination toward which all the noisy work of the day was aimed. This perfect, silent city is a blueprint for your own deep sleep. It is a place of absolute rest. Let your own thoughts walk these silent, moonlit streets. Feel the profound calm of this finished, perfect dream. This is the heart of the peace. This is the soul of the quiet. And it is here for you to rest in all through the long and peaceful night. The long, peaceful night turns. The dream of the perfect city begins to fade, its silent, moonlit streets dissolving like mist in the first hint of morning. The eastern sky bleeds from black to a soft, bruised purple, then to grey. The real city slowly returns. The wooden bones of the scaffolding reappear. The stones look rough and dusty again. The great square is once more a space of packed earth and patient waiting materials. The perfect idea has retreated, leaving the beautiful, imperfect reality behind. But the silence this morning is different. It is not the empty silence of waiting. It holds its breath. And then a new voice breaks the quiet. It is not the sharp ring of a hammer or the low rumble of a cart. It is a sound that was only a ghost in the city's dream. It is the sound of water. From the high hills down the long, patient channel of the great water carrier, it comes. A soft, rushing whisper at first, a sound that grows steadily in confidence. It is the sound of a promise being kept. In the cool, grey light, you can see it arrive in the city. It is a clear, continuous stream tumbling into the first great stone basin. It fills the basin with a joyous, gurgling sound. The water swirls and dances, splashing over the lip of the stone. It sends out a new scent into the air, the clean, damp smell of fresh mountain springs, a perfume that washes the dust from the air. This new sound is the city's true lifeblood, finally arriving. It is a continuous living murmur. It fills the quiet spaces. It washes over the tired stones. It is a song of fulfillment. It is a lullaby of completion. Let this new sound be the last thing you hear. It is the steady, gentle voice of a river that has found its new home. It is a sound that will flow, uninterrupted, from this day forward. It is a peaceful, constant whisper to carry you without effort into the deepest and most restful part of your sleep. The sun rises fully now, pouring its golden light into the basin. The light strikes the new water and shatters into 1,000 dancing pieces. The sound of the splashing water is a gentle bell ringing through the streets, calling the city to wakefulness. People emerge from their homes drawn by this new music. They gather in a quiet, wondering circle around the fountain. They stare at the clear, living water as if it were a miracle. The air, which for so long smelled only of dust and labor, is now washed clean with the cool, green scent of the mountains. A small child, braver than the adults, steps forward. The child reaches out a small hand and plunges it into the swirling water. The shock of the cold brings a small, bright laugh. That single sound breaks the spell. Others come forward. They cup the water in their hands. They splash it on their dusty faces. The taste is of cold stone and distant snow. It is the taste of life. The architect stands at the back of the crowd, watching his paper dream become a liquid reality. The city was a body he had carefully built. Now it has a pulse, it has a voice. The work of building is not finished. The masons will return to their tapping. The carts will resume their rumbling. But everything is different now. The city is no longer just a project of stone and order. It is alive. Its new heart is beating a steady, watery pulse that will never stop. Let this be the sound that stays with you now. The constant soothing murmur of water flowing, a timeless lullaby. It is a river of peace, a gentle current to carry you effortlessly away into the deep and quiet country of your sleep. The dust of construction has settled. It has been washed from the stones by the rains of 100 years. The tap of the mason's chisel is a ghost, a forgotten echo. The city, which was once a slow and patient project, is now a living thing. It has found its voice. Listen. The silence has been replaced by a new kind of music. It is the sound of life itself, a great, gentle roar that is not frightening but deeply comforting. It is a river of human sound flowing through the stone canyons of the streets. This river is made of 1,000 small streams. It is the low murmur of countless conversations, a sound like a distant ocean. It is the shuffle and slap of 10,000 sandals on the warm paving stones. It is the soft laughter from a shaded doorway. It is the distant call of a vendor, his voice a bright thread in the tapestry of sound. The air has a new perfume. The clean, sharp scent of cut stone has been replaced by a rich and complex bouquet. There is the warm, wholesome smell of bread, baking in 100 different ovens. There is the sweet, heavy scent of ripe figs and dates, piled high on a merchant's stall. From a shaded alley comes the sharp, exotic perfume of spices, a dry and dusty scent that speaks of faraway deserts and distant seas. The city is no longer a world of pale stone and grey dust. It is a garden of colour. Brightly dyed awnings stretch over the streets like rectangular flowers, painting the ground below in shifting patterns of red and blue. The people themselves are moving blossoms of colour in their tunics of saffron and crimson and deep sea green. This is the city awake. This is the city alive. Let this new symphony wash over you. It is not a noise to keep you from your rest. It is a lullaby played by 1,000 instruments at once. It is the steady, reassuring hum of a great beehive, a sound of purpose and peace that will gently carry you away. Let us drift now on this river of sound to its source. We arrive at the great public square, the stone heart of the city. The sun, a fierce white eye in the sky, pours its heat down onto the vast expanse of marble paving stones. The light is so bright it almost hurts to look. It bleaches the world to a brilliant white, a canvas upon which the people move like scattered coloured petals. But this great heat is not without its refuge. Around the edge of the square runs a deep, cool colonnade. Here, in the shade of a forest of stone pillars, the world changes. The air is cool and still. The light is soft and grey. The sound of the crowd is muffled, becoming a gentle, sleepy drone. To walk from the sun into this shade is a deep relief, a long, cool drink of water for the skin. The square itself is a living, breathing thing. At its centre, a great fountain sings to itself. Water, brought from the cool mountains by the stone arteries of the water channel, leaps and splashes in a continuous, joyous dance. The sound is a constant, liquid whisper, a cool thread of sound that weaves through the warmer hum of the crowd. The air around it smells clean and wet, a tiny oasis of mountain air in the heart of the city. People flow across this space not in a hurry, but in a slow, purposeful tide. A senator, his white toga edged with a stripe of purple, walks with his advisers, his voice a low, serious murmur. Merchants cluster in the shade, their conversation a quiet rustle of numbers and promises. Women carrying baskets walk toward the market stalls that line one side, their colourful dresses a slow-moving garden. This is the city's central nervous system, its mind and its memory. The murmur of 10,000 conversations is the sound of the city thinking. It is a place of immense, complex order, a perfectly balanced machine of human life. The rhythm is steady, predictable, and deeply calming. It is the peace of a world that knows its own purpose. Let us drift away from the singing fountain. We move now from the bright, hot sun into the deep, cool shade of the colonnade. Here, the noise of the square becomes a distant, gentle roar, like a sea heard from far inland. The light is soft and indirect. Tucked into an alcove between two massive pillars is a quieter world. It is a bookseller's shop, a small cave lined with the memories of the city. The walls are filled with wooden pigeonholes, and in each one rests a papyrus scroll. There are hundreds of them, each one a rolled-up story, a captured thought waiting for a voice to set it free. The air here smells different. It has the dry, sweet perfume of old paper and the faint, dusty scent of leather. It is the smell of preserved sunlight and forgotten afternoons. An old man sits on a low stool, a scroll unrolled across his lap. He is not reading for pleasure. He is simply holding a piece of the past, his eyes closed, feeling the faint warmth of the stone pillar at his back. Nearby, at a small wooden desk, a younger man works. He is a scribe. His head is bent in concentration. A blank sheet of pale papyrus is spread before him. In one hand, he holds a reed pen. He dips it into a small pot of ink, a substance as black and as deep as a starless night. Then his hand begins to move. It glides across the page with a slow, hypnotic grace. The only sound is the soft, dry scratch of the pen. It is a sound like autumn leaves skittering across stone. It is a quiet, patient sound. He is not creating new worlds. He is simply making a copy, ensuring that a story told 100 years ago will still be here to be told in 100 years more. This small, shaded alcove is the city's long memory. The steady, rhythmic scratch of the pen is its heartbeat. It is a sound to anchor your thoughts, a gentle, repeating pattern that speaks of permanence and peace. It is a lullaby of preservation, a quiet promise that nothing is ever truly lost. Let us leave the quiet scent of old paper behind. We step from the cool, grey shade of the colonnade back into the brilliant, living sun. The world of sound rushes back in, but it is not a harsh noise. It is a warm, thick blanket of sound woven from the threads of commerce. Listen to the individual notes in this city's song. There is the soft clinking of coins, a sound like tiny, falling bells. There is the gentle thump of a melon being tested for ripeness. There is the low, patient bleating of a goat waiting to be sold. Now let a new collection of smells find you. The air is no longer dry and dusty. It is heavy and rich. It carries the warm, yeasty perfume of bread, fresh from a baker's oven. It is layered with the deep, sugary sweetness of ripe figs, their dark purple skins almost bursting. You can smell the sharp, salty tang of olives swimming in their brine. You can smell the earthy scent of dark green lettuces still damp with morning dew. The market stalls are a feast for the eyes. They are overflowing with the bounty of the countryside. Baskets of yellow peaches are piled like captured sunlight. Great, round wheels of cheese, the color of old ivory, rest on clean linen cloths. Bunches of dark grapes hang like clusters of purple jewels. Everything is piled high, a testament to the land's generosity. This is the city's pantry, its larder laid open to the sky. An old woman, her face a beautiful map of her long life, inspects a fish. Her hands, wrinkled and sure, gently press its silver side. The vendor, a man with a broad, peaceful face, watches her. He does not hurry her. Their silent negotiation is a slow, ancient dance. It is a ritual as old as buying and selling. It is a quiet moment of trust, a small, perfect transaction in the heart of the bustling city. This is the steady, daily rhythm of sustenance. It is a beautiful, predictable dance of need and provision. It is another of the city's great, peaceful heartbeats, a steady, calming pulse to soothe you into a deep and nourishing rest. Let us turn from the bright, overflowing market. Let us seek refuge from the relentless sun. We step through a simple, dark doorway, leaving the heat and the noise behind like a shed skin. The world changes in an instant. The air inside this cool tavern is thick and still. It smells of spilled wine, a sweet and slightly vinegary perfume that has soaked into the dark wooden tables and the packed earth of the floor. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the deep, welcome gloom. The only light comes from the open door, a bright rectangle that paints a single, golden square on the floor. In this dim light, you can see the shapes of men sitting at the tables. They are not talking loudly. Their voices are a low, contented hum, a sound that is absorbed by the cool air. Great clay jars, tall as a small child, line the walls. They are the silent guardians of the wine, their terracotta sides sweating a faint, cool dew. This is where the city comes to take a quiet breath. An old soldier, his face a landscape of forgotten battles, stares into a simple clay cup. He does not drink. He is simply remembering. Two merchants, their business done for the day, share a cup of watered wine. Their conversation is a slow, easy murmur, the quiet sound of friendship. This is not a place of drunkenness, it is a place of pause. It is a small, quiet island in the roaring river of the city's day. It is a moment of shade in a life lived under the sun. The only sharp sound is the gentle clink of a cup being set down on a wooden table. The peace in here is deep and heavy, a comfortable weight. It is a small taste of the great quiet that will come with the night. Rest in this cool darkness for a moment. Let the low hum of voices be a gentle drone that quiets your own thoughts. Let the cool air soothe you. This small daily ritual of rest is a prayer for the deeper, longer rest to come. Let us leave the dim comfort of the tavern. We step back into the street, a river of blinding light and heat. The stones are hot underfoot. The noise of the city rushes back, a wave of sound that you can feel in your bones. But we will not stay here for long. We turn away from the main thoroughfare down a narrower street. The buildings here are tall and close together, their upper floors leaning in to steal the sunlight. The walls are a sheer cliff of sun-baked brick and plaster. We stop before a heavy wooden door. It has no windows. It offers no invitation. It is a solid, final statement against the outside world. The door opens, a slice of pure darkness appearing in the bright day. We step across the threshold. For a moment you are blind. The heat and the noise of the street are cut off as if by a knife. The door closes behind us with a soft, solid thud. The world is gone. You are in a different place now, a place of deep, cool and profound quiet. As your eyes adjust, the world reveals itself. You are in a narrow hallway that opens into a beautiful, sunlit courtyard. But this is not the harsh, public sun of the street. This is a private, captured piece of the sky. The courtyard is open to the heavens above, a perfect square of blue framed by the sloping red-tiled roof. In the center, a small fountain whispers to itself, its water catching the light and scattering it in tiny, brilliant jewels. The water collects in a shallow marble pool, its surface perfectly still. The air here is cool. It smells of damp stone and the green, living scent of ferns and other plants growing in large clay pots. The walls are painted with scenes of gardens and birds, a world of permanent, peaceful summer. The floor is a mosaic of tiny colored stones, cool and smooth underfoot. This is not just a house, it is an island. It is a fortress of peace, built not to keep armies out, but to keep the clamor of the world at bay. Here, in this inner sanctuary, the city's great roar becomes a distant, forgotten dream, and the only sound is the gentle, steady pulse of the water, a quiet heartbeat for a world at rest. The house settled into itself. A great beast folding its marble wings for the night. The clamor of the day was a memory now. It was a ghost of a sound in the silent halls. Faint whispers of conversation seemed to eddy in the corners of the dining room, but they were only echoes. The real voices were gone. The people had melted into the fabric of the night, into dreams. A pillar of moonlight stood in the center of the main hall. It was a silent guest that arrived after all others had departed. It touched the edge of the shallow pool set into the floor. The small basin of rainwater at the heart of the home. The water shivered. Its silver skin trembled under the moon's steady gaze. No one was there to see it. Only the household gods watched from their small shrine. Their painted eyes held the stillness of centuries. The air grew cool. It carried the scent of a city sleeping. A faint perfume of night flowers drifted from the garden. The distant, earthy smell of the great river flowed through the open spaces. Inside, the last embers in a bronze brazier gave off a dry warmth. A whisper of smoke, a memory of fire curled into the darkness. The ghosts of the feast remained here too. The phantom scent of roasted meats and spiced wine. It was a story told in smells, a tale of a time just past. Emptiness was not an absence of things, it was a presence all its own. It filled the spaces between the tall columns. It settled over the intricate mosaics on the floor. It smoothed the wrinkles from the heavy drapes. This profound quiet was the other side of the empire. The soft exhale after a day of triumphant shouts. It was the deep, slow breath of Rome itself. In this quiet, you could almost feel the turning of the world, the slow grind of time and stars. The house was a vessel. It held the silence. It held the memories. And it waited. It waited for the sun. It waited for the noise and the life to come rushing back. But for now, it was empty. It was at peace. A ship becalmed on a sea of night. The long day was over. The great city slept under a blanket of 1,000,000 stars. And in this single home, among thousands, the universe seemed to pause. It held its breath in the empty spaces, listening to the beat of a silent heart. This deep quiet was not contained by the walls of the house. It spilled out into the street. It filled the whole world. The city, that roaring beast of a place, was now tamed by the night. The lanes and avenues were channels of cool, empty air. The hard stone streets, which had baked in the sun and echoed with the sound of 1,000,000 footsteps, were now rivers of moonlight. They flowed like pale water between the sleeping buildings. The shadows of doorways were deep wells of blackness. The arches of monuments were dark mouths, breathing out the cold of ancient stone. Not a single cart rattled over the cobbles. Not a single vendor called out his wares. The great machine of the empire had paused. Its gears had stopped turning. Its fires were banked. The sprawling markets were silent. The stalls stood like skeletons, their vibrant goods packed away. The scent of fish and leather and foreign spices was gone. Now there was only the clean, damp smell of stone and the faint, sweet perfume of unseen gardens. The vast central square, the very heart of the world, was a great empty plate offered up to the stars. The tall marble columns of the temples looked like the bones of forgotten giants. They stood guard over a city of ghosts. Even the water in the public fountain seemed to make a softer sound. It was a hushed whisper instead of a cheerful splash. The silence was so complete you could feel it. It was a weight in the air, a presence that pushed against the eardrums. It was the sound of a city dreaming. It dreamed of triumphs and speeches. It dreamed of the sun on the marble. But now it rested. It gathered its strength. The enormous organism of Rome was asleep. Every road leading to it was empty. Every gate was closed. The city had curled in on itself. A sleeping giant under a sky stitched with cold, distant diamonds of light. The emptiness was a blanket, It covered everything, soothing the sharp edges of the day into soft, rounded shapes of the night. And this quiet flowed beyond the city's stone skin. It washed over the great walls and spread into the countryside. The fields lay sleeping under the same moon. They were a vast, empty quilt of silver and shadow. The neat rows of vines and olives were lost in the darkness. They were just textures in a silent, monochrome world. The roads that led to the city's gates were pale, empty ribbons. By day, they were arteries of commerce, choked with soldiers and merchants and dusty travelers. But now they were deserted. They were paths for moonlight and nothing more. The great river, the city's lifeblood, moved slowly in its bed. It was a dark mirror reflecting a sky without sun. No barges slipped along its surface. No fishermen cast their nets into its depths. Its patient, endless journey to the sea was a secret kept by the night. The silence out here was different. It was older. In the city, the quiet felt like a pause, a breath held between one day and the next. But here, the quiet was eternal. It was the land's natural state. It was the silence of stone and soil, of patient trees and sleeping grass. The wind whispered through the tall cypress trees. It was a sound that had existed long before the city was ever built. It would exist long after the last stone had fallen. From the low hills, the city was a scattering of sleeping lights. It was a faint glow against the horizon, a man-made constellation that had settled on the earth. It seemed small from out here. It was a fragile thing of order and ambition, surrounded by a vast and ancient emptiness. The world felt immense. It was a great, dark room, and the city was just one small candle flickering within it. The emptiness was not a void. It was the world itself, stripped of all its noise and hurry. It was the cool, clean canvas upon which the story of the day would be painted anew. But now the canvas was beautifully, peacefully blank. The air tasted of damp earth and distant water. It was a clean taste, a taste of beginnings and endings and the long, quiet space that rests between them. The great emptiness of the world finally returned to its source. It flowed back from the dark fields and silent hills. It slipped over the sleeping walls of the city. It poured through the moonlit streets and avenues. It found the single grand house, a ship at rest in a sea of night. And it came to rest in the quietest place of all, the space behind your own eyes. Here, in the gentle dark of a sleeping room, the universe grows still. The only sound is the soft tide of your own breathing. It is a slow and steady rhythm, a patient ocean sound in the shell of the room. The air is cool on your skin. The weight of the blanket is a gentle anchor. It holds you safely in the calm harbor of the bed. The emptiness is no longer a vast and distant thing. It is here. It is a peaceful guest. It has settled into the room with you. It has filled the quiet spaces of your own mind. All the day's concerns are like dust motes. They have settled on some distant surface, forgotten. The grand machinery of life has paused for you. The forum is silent. The chariots are still. The voices are whispers from another lifetime. There is only this, the slow, deep rhythm of your heart. It is a single, soft drum beating in the center of the quiet. It marks a time that belongs only to the night. It measures the moments between breaths. Your thoughts, which once raced like messengers through a busy city, are now slow travelers on an empty road. They drift by without urgency. They fade into the peaceful dark. There is nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to be. You are simply a part of this profound stillness. You are a single warm note in a great silent symphony. The boundary between you and the quiet world begins to dissolve. You are not just in the silence, you are the silence, and in this perfect empty peace, the journey into dream begins. The last shore of wakefulness recedes. The deep, calm waters of sleep rise to welcome you, and so you drift. The last shore of wakefulness is a distant memory. You are floating in a place made of peace, a great, empty sea of twilight. There is no sun here, there is no moon, there are no stars, only a gentle, pervasive softness, a light that is not quite light. It is the color of a thought just before it is born. You feel no weight, you feel no body, you are simply a presence, a warm awareness in a cool, endless space. This is the first country of the dream. It is a land without features, a landscape of pure potential. Beneath you stretches a plain of fine, dark sand. It is as smooth as polished glass. It seems to swallow all reflection. It is a ground made of solidified night. You walk upon it without making a sound. Your footsteps leave no prints. The air does not move. There is no wind to whisper secrets. There is only a profound, humming silence. It is the sound of the world holding its breath. It is the quiet thrum of existence itself. You look in every direction, you see only more of the same gentle emptiness. It stretches into an infinity that is not frightening but comforting. It is a promise of endless calm. The worries and textures of the day cannot find you here. They need edges and corners to hide in. This place is smooth and eternal. It offers no purchase for anxiety. It is the mind wiped clean, a vast empty slate waiting for the poetry of the deep sleep to be written upon it. But for now, its emptiness is the poem. A simple, beautiful verse about the nature of peace. You are the only word in it, and you are at rest. You are a solitary traveler on the floor of a silent ocean, moving slowly toward the heart of a perfect, empty dream. You continue your slow journey across this endless, silent plain. The dark sand underfoot feels like the dust of fallen stars. It is soft and yielding, yet it holds no memory of your passage. The light in this place remains constant. It is a pearl-gray twilight that seems to rise from the ground itself. It does not cast shadows. It simply is. This world has no sun to mark the time. It has no moon to pull the tides. Time itself seems to have stopped here. It has settled like a fine layer of dust on everything. You are walking through a moment that has been stretched into forever. The humming silence deepens. It is the sound of a vast, sleeping mind. The sound of pure potential before it has been shaped into a thought or a memory. This emptiness is a kind of nourishment. It is not the emptiness of loss, but the emptiness of release. You feel the cluttered corners of your mind being swept clean. The noise of the waking world fades completely. The arguments of the forum, the clatter of chariot wheels, the weight of daily duties, none of it can exist here. This space is too pure for such things. It is like drinking cool, clean water after a long and thirsty day. You are shedding the layers of your waking self, your name, your history, your worries. They fall away behind you. They become invisible marks upon the dark sand, smoothed away by the profound stillness. You are becoming simple again. You are just a point of awareness, a silent observer in a world made of peace. This is the foundation upon which all other dreams are built. It is the clean, dark earth from which the forests of the mind will grow. For now you are simply walking through the fertile void, feeling its calm seep into you, restoring you for the travels yet to come. As you travel, a new feeling begins to surface. It is not a thought, it is a gentle pull, a sense of direction in this directionless land. Your slow, rhythmic walk feels less like a wander and more like an approach. Far ahead, at the very edge of your perception, the perfect emptiness is interrupted. A single flaw has appeared in the seamless grey twilight. At first, it is just a speck of deeper darkness. It is a tiny anchor in a boundless sea. You continue to move toward it. The journey remains silent. The only sound is the deep, internal hum of the place. But now the silence seems to gather around that distant point. The shape grows with an impossible slowness. Time is still a dream here, but the object on the horizon gives it a purpose. It becomes a landmark in eternity. Slowly, it resolves into a form. It is a great stone archway. It stands alone on the dark, sandy plain. It leads from nowhere to nowhere. It is a doorway in a world without walls. The stone it is made from is a deep, starless black. It seems to drink the grey light around it. It looks older than memory, older than the city, older than the hills upon which the city was built. It has no carvings you can recognize, yet you feel it is covered in stories, stories told in a language of erosion and time. You feel the immense, sleeping weight of it. It does not defy the emptiness, it completes it. It is a question that the silence has been waiting to ask. You arrive at its base. You stand before this impossible threshold. The air around it feels different. It is charged with a quiet energy, a feeling of anticipation. You look through the arch. You see the same empty plain on the other side, the same soft twilight. Nothing appears to be different, and yet you know that to step through this doorway is to step into another place entirely. The land of pure emptiness has served its purpose. It has cleansed you. It has made you ready. And now the journey into the heart of the dream awaits on the other side of this ancient, silent gate. You stand before the great arch. It is a moment suspended outside of time. You raise a hand. You do not quite touch the stone. You can feel its immense coldness on your skin from a distance. It is the cold of the space between stars. It is the chill of 1,000,000,000 silent nights. There is no fear. There is only a deep and profound sense of purpose. This is the way forward. This is the gate you were meant to find. You take a single, slow step. You pass under the heavy stone lintel. For a heartbeat, there is nothing. The world vanishes. The grey light is gone. The humming silence is gone. There is only a perfect velvet blackness, a complete absence of all sensation. It is not frightening. It is a moment of absolute peace, a final cleansing. It is the universe taking a single deep breath. Then, just as gently, the world returns. You are standing on the other side of the arch. You turn and look back. The arch is still there. A silent doorway on an endless plain. But the world you have entered is changed. It looks the same. The same dark sand stretches to a horizon that never arrives. The same soft, pearlescent light fills the air. But the feeling is different. The gentle hum is gone. It has been replaced by a silence so deep it feels like the foundation of the world. This is not the pause before a sound. This is the absence of sound itself. The air feels thinner, purer, as if all the dust of memory has been filtered out by your passage through the gate. You feel lighter, more transparent. The journey across the first plane made you simple. This passage has made you new. You are a fresh page. You are the empty space upon which a new world can be written. This is the true beginning. The prelude is over. You have passed through the gate of sleep and have arrived in the quiet heartland of the dream. You are now on the other side. The world is made of pure silence. It is no longer just an absence of sound. It is a presence. It is a cool, smooth substance that fills all of space. You can feel its gentle pressure on your skin. You are no longer walking. The sensation of movement has ceased. You are simply here, suspended, a solitary awareness floating in the heart of a vast and peaceful mind. The dark plain stretches below you, the soft, featureless light surrounds you. There are no destinations in this place. There is no goal to reach. The journey itself was the purpose, and now the journey is complete. Here, in this perfect stillness, you have arrived. This is the emptiness that exists at the center of all things. It is the quiet core of the spinning world. It is the silence inside a seed before it begins to grow. All the complexities of your waking life are a distant echo, a story from a book you read long ago. Your name, your face, your hands, they are forgotten ideas. You are formless. You are timeless. This is the deepest kind of rest. It is a return to the origin, a dissolving into the calm, quiet source of all being. In this boundless peace you are unmade, and in being unmade you are restored. The tiny fractures in your spirit are healed. The subtle weariness of your soul is washed away. You are being refilled with this profound silence. It is a balm. It is a blessing. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to be. There is only the soft, grey light and the deep, abiding peace. You float in this gentle eternity. You are a drop of water returning to a calm, endless ocean. You are home. And you wait without expectation for the dream to begin again. The quiet deepens. It is a well with no bottom. You are suspended in its cool, dark water. This is not the end. It is the beginning in its purest form. It is the universe before the first star was lit. It is the uncarved block of marble that holds every possible statue within it. You feel a sense of ancient familiarity here, as if you are returning to a place you knew before you were born. A place of perfect potential. All the noise of life, the frantic energy of the day has been burned away. You are what remains. A pure, simple awareness. A single, perfect note held in an endless silence. The soft grey light that surrounds you is the color of peace itself. It has no source. It needs no source. It is the natural condition of this quiet realm. In this place you remember what it is to be truly at rest. It is not simply the absence of movement, it is the absence of striving. There is nothing to want. There is nothing to fear. There is only the gentle, eternal isness of things. Your consciousness, now free of its vessel, drifts like a single seed on a windless day. It is patient, it is whole, it holds within it the blueprint for 1,000 forests, 1,000,000 forgotten memories. But for now, it is content to simply be. A seed at rest in the fertile dark. This profound emptiness is a gift. It is the mind's fallow season, a time for the soil of the soul to recover its strength. Here, in the great, quiet center, the story of the day truly ends. Its ink has run dry. Its last page has been turned, and the story of the deep night, the story of the dream, waits patiently to begin. The stillness settles into its final, perfect form. It is no longer just quiet. It has become a substance, a cool, clear element in which you float, suspended and safe. You are at the very bottom of the deep well of sleep. The world of sound and light is a forgotten rumor, a myth from another lifetime. Here there is only the gentle, grey embrace of the void. This emptiness is the true architecture of peace. It is a cathedral built of silence and shadows. Its ceiling is a dome of endless twilight. Its floor is a foundation of perfect, unbroken calm. You are the only worshipper in this vast sacred space, and the only prayer is the soft, rhythmic pulse of your own quieted existence, a heartbeat that is now the heartbeat of the universe itself. You have no hands to feel the texture of this place, but you feel it is smoother than water, softer than silk. You have no eyes to measure its vastness, but you know it stretches beyond the reach of stars. You have become pure sensation, a disembodied awareness. You feel the deep, resonant peace of it in the very core of your being. It is a feeling like returning home after a journey of 1,000 years. The person you were in the waking world is a ghost, a faint whisper on a wind that no longer blows. The name you answered to, the face you saw in the mirror, they are shed skins left on a distant shore, dissolving in a forgotten tide. You are now nameless, faceless, ageless. You have been reduced to your purest essence, a single, warm point of light in an endless ocean of calm. This is the state from which all things are born, the fertile darkness before the first seed is planted, the clean, blank page before the first word is written, the profound stillness in the sculptor's mind before the chisel ever touches the stone. You are resting now in this great field of infinite potential. You are being refilled, renewed. The universe is pouring its own deep, quiet strength back into you. It is a slow, gentle transfusion of peace, drop by drop. And you wait without waiting. You rest without thought of resting. You float, weightless and free. You are a boat becalmed in the harbor at the very end of the universe, ready for the gentle wind that will carry you into the new morning of the dream. This perfect quiet is the final destination. You have arrived at the center of the great, sleeping wheel of the universe. All movement has ceased. All striving is forgotten. You are anchored in a harbor of absolute peace. The soft grey light of this place is the breath of a sleeping God. It holds you, it comforts you, it asks nothing of you. You have been unburdened of your own story. The weight of your name and your past has dissolved into this gentle emptiness. You are no longer a citizen of Rome. You are not a traveller on a dusty road. You are a resident of this silent, eternal country. The silence here is a form of music. It is a single perfect chord played on an instrument the size of the cosmos. Its vibration is the feeling of pure being. It resonates in the space where your heart used to be. It realigns you, it restores you. All the small anxieties of the day, the tiny cuts and bruises of a life lived, are smoothed away by this profound calm. It is a tide of peace washing over the landscape of the soul. It leaves behind only a clean, smooth shore. You are a thought at rest in the mind of the world, a memory of a star that has not yet been born. This is the source of all strength, the wellspring of all dreams. You drink deeply from this silence. It fills you. It becomes you. The boundary between the observer and the observed melts away completely. You are the quiet. You are the gentle light. You are the vast, empty space. And here, in this state of perfect, simple unity, you are completely at rest. The world of form and noise will return. The sun will rise again. But a part of this deep peace will remain with you. A small, smooth stone of silence carried in the pocket of your soul. For now, there is only this endless, gentle and perfect moment of rest. The silence is now complete. It is a perfect sphere of peace, and you are at its very center. There is no longer an inside or an outside. The gentle grey light and the profound quiet have merged with you. You have dissolved into the very fabric of this restful place. Think of a single grain of salt dissolving in a glass of clear, cool water. It does not cease to be. It simply becomes one with the water, invisible but present throughout. So too have you become this peace. You are the stillness that cradles the universe. You are the gentle light that fills the void. The story of your life, the one lived in the sunlit world of noise and ambition, is a legend from a distant land. The hero of that story, with a name and a face, was brave and weary. But that hero is not you. Not anymore. You are the quiet space between the words of that story. You are the endless, soft potential from which all stories are born. This state of being is a great, fallow field of the soul. It has been cleared of old crops. It has been turned over and left to rest under a sky of gentle twilight. The texture of this emptiness is like cool, smooth stone. The temperature of this silence is perfect and unchanging, a balm against the memory of the sun's heat and the night's chill. Here, in this rich and empty soil, all strength is renewed, all weariness is washed away by a rain you cannot feel. All hurts are healed by a sun that does not shine. This is the deepest magic of sleep. It is not just a pause in the story of a life. It is a remaking of the book itself, a return to the first, perfect pages before they were ever marked with ink. You feel a wholeness you have never known, a unity with the slow, deep breath of existence itself. There is no past to regret. There is no future to anticipate. There is only this single, perfect, eternal moment. A moment of absolute rest. A moment of complete being. You are the uncarved block of wood. You are the unsung melody. You are the breath held in the lungs of the world, a patient and peaceful, waiting for the first note of the morning to be played. And in this perfect final moment of stillness, you are whole. The long journey into silence is over. You have reached the still point of the turning world. This is the final shore. There is no ocean beyond it. There is only the endless, gentle peace. You are no longer a traveler in this quiet land. You have become the land itself. The soft grey light that fills this space emanates from you. The profound silence that defines this realm is the sound of your own peaceful being. All the pieces of the person you were have been gently taken apart. They have been polished by the quiet and returned to their purest form. Your memories are not lost, they are simply at rest. They are like sleeping birds in a vast, silent forest, their songs waiting patiently for a dawn that is still a lifetime away. This is a peace that passes all understanding. It is a solid thing. You can feel its reassuring weight. It is the weight of a mountain, eternal and unmoving. But it is a mountain made of light and air. It does not crush you, it grounds you. It anchors you in the heart of serenity. The great machine of Rome, with its ambitions and its clamour, is a forgotten story. The sun that warms its marble is a distant, sleeping star. Here, in this timeless core, you are being remade. The quiet is a master craftsman. It is mending the invisible fractures in your spirit. It is reweaving the tired threads of your soul. It is filling you with a strength that is not of muscle or will, but of pure, untroubled existence. This is the ultimate gift of the deep night. Not just rest, but renewal. Not just quiet, but wholeness. You float in this perfect, final calm. A single, complete thought in the mind of the universe. A finished poem. And here you will remain, held safely in the heart of the great emptiness, until the first stirrings of a new story begin. For a time that cannot be measured, you remained in the still heart of the world, a perfect emptiness, a complete and healing peace. But nothing, not even the most profound silence, remains the same forever. A change begins. It is not a sound that breaks the quiet. It is not a light that pierces the gentle grey. It is a shift in the very texture of the void. Imagine a vast and perfectly still lake. For an age, its surface has been like polished glass. Now a single, slow current begins to stir in its deepest parts. A river of purpose flowing through the heart of stillness. You feel this current. It does not push you, it guides you. The gentle emptiness, which was once uniform in all directions, now has a direction, a flow. The soft, pearlescent light begins to thin in one area, as if dawn were considering its return from an infinite distance. The silence, which was a solid presence, now seems to be gathering itself. It is drawing away from one part of the void and deepening in another. You are drifting on this slow, majestic tide. You are no longer just a point of awareness at rest. You are an awareness on a gentle journey. You are moving toward the place where the light is thinnest, toward the place where the silence is gathering, the absolute rest is over, but the peace remains. This is not a waking, it is a turning in the sleep. A new page in the great silent book of the dream is being turned, and you drift toward the new words that are about to be written on it, carried on a soft, invisible river of emerging thought. The slow, silent river carries you onward. You are a leaf on its invisible surface. The landscape of the void is beginning to change. It is no longer a uniform grey. It is starting to gather and separate. It is like watching clouds form in a windless sky. Filaments of shadow and strands of pale light are weaving themselves together in the distance. They are creating a texture in the emptiness. The perfect silence is also transforming. It is still absolute. No sound has broken its surface. But it feels different now. It feels like the silence of a vast, empty theatre just before the curtain rises. It is a silence full of anticipation, a quiet that is listening for a cue. The emptiness is no longer a destination. It has become a medium, the raw material from which a new reality is being spun. You feel like a witness to a slow and secret creation. The universe of the dream is gathering its thoughts. It is pulling threads of memory from the deep storage of your soul. These memories have no shape yet. They are just motes of feeling, glimmers of color, faint echoes of emotion. They swirl around you in the gentle current. They are the dust of stars from which a new world will be born. The peace of the void remains. This gentle transformation does not disturb the deep calm. The process is too slow. It is too majestic. It is as natural as the turning of a season. You are simply observing. You are floating toward the place where the shadows are deepest, where the light is beginning to coalesce. You are approaching the shores of a new dream, a land that is slowly rising from the calm, grey ocean of sleep. The gentle current of the dream carries you on. The pace of creation is quickening, but it is still as slow as the erosion of a mountain. Far ahead, where the threads of shadow and light have been weaving, a line has formed. A distinction has been drawn across the void, a horizon. For the first time in an age, this world has a below and an above. Below the line, the darkness seems to condense. It gathers into a solid mass of potential. Above it, the pearlescent light grows softer, more diffuse. It is becoming a sky. The swirling forms are no longer random. They have begun to settle into definite shapes etched against this new sky. You see the suggestion of a vast and rugged landscape. The dark mass below resolves into the silhouette of distant mountains. They are jagged peaks like the teeth of a saw cutting into the soft grey light. They are still just shadows. They are ideas of mountains, not yet made of stone. They have no texture, no detail, but their presence changes everything. They give the void a scale, a sense of immense distance. The expectant silence now has a place to inhabit. It fills the valleys between these phantom peaks. It rests upon their imaginary slopes. The feeling of being a passive witness deepens. You are watching a world being painted into existence on a canvas of pure thought. The artist is your own sleeping mind. It works with a patience you could never possess in the waking world. It is building a new place for you, a new stage for a new story. You are drifting closer to this nascent land. The dark line of the mountains grows clearer, more defined. The soft sky above them seems to beckon you forward. You are leaving the endless ocean of the void and approaching the first continent of the dream. The silent flight continues. The phantom mountains are drawing closer, or perhaps you are drawing closer to them. In this place, it is impossible to tell the difference. They are no longer just flat silhouettes against a grey sky. They are gaining a kind of substance, a weight. They feel like solid ideas, thoughts of mountains so powerful they have taken on form. The darkness that comprises them is no longer uniform. It has begun to show faint variations. You can perceive the suggestion of immense rock faces, the hint of deep, plunging valleys filled with a shadow that is older and colder than the peaks themselves. The silence has changed again. It is no longer just the silence of a void. It has become the silence of this place. It is a stony, ancient quiet. The quiet of a world before the first seed has sprouted, before the first bird has sung its song. It is a quiet that holds the memory of its own creation. You feel it pressing against you, a soft, immense weight. It is the sound of 1,000,000,000 years of geology dreaming of itself. You are passing over the foothills now. They are not hills of dirt and stone, but hills of solidified shadow. They roll and fold beneath you like a great, dark blanket. The soft, luminous sky seems to feel closer, a ceiling of pearl stretched over this new, empty world. You are still formless, a pure point of view, but you feel a sense of perspective returning. You are an observer, flying over a majestic and unpopulated land. The emptiness is no longer absolute. It has become a landscape, a vast, beautiful, and utterly silent geography of the mind. And you are at its edge, about to descend into its quiet valleys, to explore the terrain of a world freshly born from the heart of a perfect sleep. Your gentle forward drift now becomes a slow descent. You are spiraling down, a silent feather falling into the heart of this newly formed world. The great mountains of shadow now rise up on all sides. They are no longer distant shapes. They are immense presences. They are walls of pure, solid night that soar into the soft grey sky. You feel their immense, silent gravity. It is the pull of an idea so powerful, it has bent the fabric of the dream around itself. You drift down into one of the valleys between them. It is a vast canyon, a channel carved not by water, but by the flow of an ancient silence. The air, which is not really air, feels cooler here. It is the deep, undisturbed cold of a place that has never felt the warmth of a sun. It is the chill of pure, unadorned thought. The silence in this valley is different. It is no longer a boundless quiet. It has been contained by these great walls of shadow. It has become denser, heavier. It is the silence of deep earth, the quiet of a sealed tomb. You can almost feel its pressure, a gentle weight that soothes and calms. The floor of the valley rises slowly to meet you. It is a perfect, unbroken plain of darkness. It is smoother than polished stone, darker than a starless midnight. You come to rest hovering just above this impossible ground. You have arrived. You are now inside the landscape of the dream. You are a solitary consciousness in a world built from shadow and light, a world that has been waiting only for you. The emptiness here is majestic. It is the clean, stark beauty of a blueprint, the perfect design of a world before the first nail is hammered, before the first seed is planted. And you stand within it, a silent witness to its birth, at peace in the heart of its vast, empty cathedral. You are still now. The long, gentle fall has ended. You have come to rest in the quietest valley of a world born from silence. The ground beneath you is a mystery. It is a surface of pure, solidified darkness. It seems to hold no reflection. It offers no texture. It is a floor made from the idea of night itself. The great walls of the valley rise on either side. They are not made of stone. They feel as if they are made of a deep and ancient quiet. They are immense cliffs of peace, carved by an eternity of stillness. The sky above is a soft, grey ceiling, a gentle light that seems to have forgotten the concept of a sun. This emptiness is not a barren place. It is a full place. It is filled to the brim with a cool, clean potential. It is a library where every book is still unwritten. It is a garden where every seed is still asleep in the dark, fertile earth. The air here, which is not air at all, carries no scent. It does not smell of dust or rain or growing things. It smells only of newness, of the clean, calm moment just before a story begins. You are the only living thing in this majestic landscape, a single, warm consciousness in a cool, silent world. You are the first inhabitant of a reality that has been built just for you. And in this beautiful, profound emptiness, you are completely safe. The world waits around you, patient and still. It is waiting for the dreamer to dream it into greater detail. But for now, its emptiness is its perfection, and its perfection is your peace. You are at rest in this valley of pure thought. The silence is a physical thing, a cool blanket that covers you completely. The mountains of shadow are your silent companions. The soft grey sky is your roof. For a moment that stretches into a small eternity, nothing happens. This is the perfection of a world before its first day. The absolute stillness is a form of nourishment. It rebuilds you from the inside out. Then a subtle shift occurs in the perfect darkness at your feet. It is not a crack in the ground. It is more like a thought appearing in a quiet mind. A thin line of even deeper shadow begins to draw itself across the valley floor. It starts from where you are suspended and stretches forward, a single dark thread laid upon a bolt of blackest cloth. The line solidifies. It becomes a path. It is not a path made by footsteps. It is a path made of intention, an invitation from the dream itself. It seems to say the time for stillness is over. The time for gentle journeying has begun. You feel a gentle pull, a current in the silent air, and so you begin to move. You do not walk. You have no feet. You simply glide forward. You are a thought following a new train of logic. You drift along this path of deeper darkness. Your passage is utterly silent. The immense walls of the valley slide past you. They are like the silent, watching faces of ancient gods. The emptiness is no longer a static place. It has become a landscape to be traveled. The peace is not broken by this movement. It is deepened by it. It is the peace of purpose, of following a course that feels natural and right. The path leads ahead, a dark river flowing through a land of shadow, pulling you gently toward the unknown heart of this new, quiet world. The journey along the dark path is effortless. You are a thought gliding through a silent mind. There is no friction. There is no resistance. There is only the smooth, inexorable pull forward. The great walls of the valley slide past on either side. They are like immense, dark curtains that have been drawn to hide a world that is not yet ready to be seen. You feel their ancient presence, their immense weight of silence, but they do not feel threatening. They are guardians of this deep peace, not its jailers. The path beneath you does not change. It is a perfect, unwavering line of intention. It is a promise made by the dream to itself. It promises that this emptiness is not the end, but a beginning. It promises that this silence is not a void, but a canvas. As you travel, you notice a subtle change in the air. The oppressive stillness of the deep valley begins to lighten. The feeling of being enclosed starts to recede. The massive shadow mountains on either side seem to pull back slightly. They are giving you space. Far ahead, the valley appears to be opening up. The two great cliffs seem to curve away from each other, revealing a vast expanse of the same soft grey twilight. You are approaching a plain, a place where the world of the dream will stretch out before you. The emptiness is about to become even grander. It will be an emptiness of open space, not of confinement. The deep peace of the valley travels with you. It is a part of you now. You are carrying its quiet heart with you as you glide toward the new and open landscape that awaits. You emerge from the mouth of the valley. The great shadow walls recede behind you like the closing of a book. Before you stretches a new world. It is a plain of immense and impossible scale, a great, dark floor stretching to a horizon that is more of a feeling than a line. The dark path that guided you flows out onto this plain, and then it simply dissolves. It melts back into the darkness from which it came. The journey on that path is over. You are free now. You are no longer guided. You float, untethered, in the center of this majestic emptiness. The sky is a vast, high dome of softest pearl grey. It feels a universe away. The silence has transformed once more. In the valley, it was a heavy, contained quiet. Here, it is a thin, clean silence, the silence of vast, open spaces, the quiet of the upper atmosphere where there is nothing for the wind to touch. The feeling is one of profound release. You have sailed out of a narrow channel and into a calm, open sea. The mountains are now a faint, serrated memory on the horizon behind you. They are the shore of a land you have left behind. Before you, there is only the plain. It is an empty stage of cosmic proportions. It is a perfect, clean slate, waiting for the dreamer to draw the first line. The emptiness here is not confining, it is liberating. It is a beautiful, peaceful solitude. You are a single, silent note in a vast and empty concert hall, and you are at peace, floating gently in the heart of this boundless new landscape. You are adrift now, in the center of this endless, silent sea of a plain. The last traces of the path have vanished completely. The mountains behind you are a forgotten dream. There is no forward, there is no backward. There is only the vast, open, and beautiful emptiness. This is a quiet of a different kind. It is the quiet of freedom. It is the gentle, expansive silence that lives between the stars. It does not press upon you, it uplifts you. The floor of this world is a single, unbroken sheet of darkness. The sky is a high, remote canopy of gentle light. You are the only thing between them. A single point of consciousness suspended in a moment of pure potential. This is the world as a clean slate. It is the sculptor's studio, empty save for a single, perfect block of uncarved stone. It is the theatre after the audience has gone home, its empty stage holding the ghost of every play ever performed and the promise of every play yet to be written. You are that potential, you are that promise. You float in this majestic void, feeling its profound peace settle into you. This is the final and most perfect form of rest, the rest that comes after a long journey. The rest that comes when you have finally arrived at a place with no walls, no paths, and no destinations. There is nothing to do here but be. There is nothing to see but the gentle beauty of the void. And so you rest, a silent observer in a world that is waiting for a single thought to begin its creation. You are that thought, and you are at peace. You rested in the heart of the great plain, a single, peaceful awareness in a world of gentle light and silent shadow. For an immeasurable time, this was the universe, a perfect, open emptiness, a calm and boundless sea. But then a change began. It was a change so subtle it was almost imperceptible. It was not a sight, it was not a sound, it was a feeling. A deep and resonant vibration, born in the very bones of the void. It was a hum that you felt more than you heard. The kind of thrum that travels through solid stone. It was the lowest note on an instrument the size of the sky, a string plucked an eternity away. The perfect silence was not broken. It was transformed. It had been given a pulse. The silence now had a slow, steady heartbeat. The vast, empty plain seemed to listen. The soft, grey light overhead seemed to shiver with this new energy. The great, dark floor beneath you resonated with it, a vast drumhead echoing a single, cosmic rhythm. You are no longer floating in mere quiet. You are floating in a quiet song, a melody with only one note, a note that speaks of immense and ancient power, slowly waking from a sleep deeper than your own. The perfect stillness has been replaced by a perfect rhythmic vibration. The empty stage has found its orchestra, and you float in the center of it, a silent listener, feeling the first stirrings of creation, the first pulse of a new and unfolding story. The deep and resonant hum continues its patient rhythm. It is the steady heartbeat of this new reality. And now the world responds to it. The great, dark floor of the plain is no longer inert. It has become a vast, dark drumhead, and the vibration is making it move. Across the endless surface, patterns begin to form. They are born from the humming silence. Thin lines of pale, silvery light etch themselves into the darkness. They are like frost crystals spreading across a pane of black glass. They form vast and intricate lattices. They are the secret geometry of the universe made visible. The patterns are alive. They pulse in perfect time with the deep, slow beat. A field of perfect, glowing hexagons might cover the plain for a moment. Then, with the next pulse, they dissolve into 1,000 spiraling arms, like a galaxy made of faint light. This silent cosmic dance is mesmerizing. It is the sight of pure mathematics unfolding as art. You are watching the blueprints of a new world being drawn in real time. Each line is an intention. Each shape is a possibility. The emptiness is being given a structure. A skeleton of light is being laid down within the body of the void. This beautiful, silent creation does not frighten you. It fills you with a sense of profound wonder. It is the peace of understanding, the peace of seeing the underlying order that exists within the heart of the great mystery. You are a silent witness to the birth of a design. The dream is showing you its bones, the perfect and beautiful architecture upon which it will build its new story, and you float above it all, a part of the quiet song, lost in the beauty of the unfolding plan. The quiet cosmic dance does not remain on the floor for long. The deep hum, the heartbeat of this place, seems to call the patterns upward, slowly. With a grace that defies all laws of the waking world, the lines of light begin to lift. They peel away from the dark plain. They rise into the air like threads of starlight being pulled by an invisible hand. The geometric patterns leave the ground and begin to build themselves in 3 dimensions. The glowing lines connect and cross, forming vast, ethereal structures. Walls of pure, woven light ascend into the silent air. Pillars of humming energy rise to support a roof of softest grey sky. Arches of silver bloom in the emptiness, connecting nothing to nothing, existing only for their own beautiful shape. This is not architecture as you know it. These are not buildings of stone and mortar. They are the ghosts of buildings. They are the pure idea of a structure given form without substance. They are hollow. They are transparent. They are made of nothing but light and the deep, resonant song of the void. You drift among them. You glide through these luminous walls without resistance. You float in a silent city that is growing all around you. It is a forest of light sprouting from a field of darkness. The deep hum seems to live within these structures. They pulse gently with its rhythm, their faint light brightening and dimming with each cosmic beat. The emptiness is no longer boundless. It has been given shape. It is now contained within these beautiful, fragile cages of light. A city of ghosts is being born, and you are its first and only silent inhabitant. You drift through the silent, growing city. A ghost in a city of ghosts. The structures of light are no longer simple lines and arches. They are weaving themselves into forms you almost recognize. Great, open squares are framed by colonnades of pure energy. The vast, curving walls of a spectral amphitheater rise from the dark plain, its empty seats waiting for an audience that will never arrive. The hum is the only architect here. It is the celestial song that convinces the light to bend and join, to form the memory of a basilica, the echo of a temple. You float through these phantom buildings as if they were mist. The walls of light do not resist you. They part for you, or rather, you pass through their very substance, your own formless awareness untouched by their luminous energy. The experience is one of profound tranquility. There is no sense of being lost in this impossible city. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And now, another change begins. The pure, silvery light of the structures is being infused with the faintest memory of color. It is a change so subtle you almost doubt you are seeing it. A pillar of light might pulse with a whisper of gold. An archway might hold a fleeting hint of sky blue in its curve. The long spectral wall of a forum might shimmer with the barest suggestion of white marble. The colors are not painted on. They are born from within the light itself. They are moods rather than hues, emotions given a visual form. They do not make the city solid. They make it more dreamlike, more poignant. It is a city built from light, silence, and now the faintest ghosts of color. It remains empty. It remains a beautiful hollow shell, but it is a shell that is slowly filling with the memory of a world you once knew. The city of light continues to build itself around you. It is a slow, silent explosion of form. You drift down a long, wide street. On either side, the luminous skeletons of grand houses rise into the grey twilight. Their walls are lattices of soft, golden light. You can see through them into the empty chambers within. There are no tables set for dinner. There are no couches draped with cloth. There are no murals painted on the walls. There are only more hollow rooms, framed by pulsing, gentle light. The doorways are dark rectangles, portals into a deeper, more profound emptiness. You float past a marketplace. The great square is outlined in lines of energy that remember being stone. The stalls are phantom structures, cages of light with nothing inside to sell. There is no scent of baking bread. There is no sharp smell of fish or cheese. There is only the clean, cool taste of the air, which is the taste of silence itself. You pass a great fountain in the center of the square. Its form is intricate, a carving of sea gods and horses made from light the color of a faint, sea foam green. But its basins are dry. No water spills from the open mouths of the gods. The cheerful sound of splashing water is a memory that this place has not yet formed. The only sound is the deep, constant hum. It is the vibration of the city's very existence. It is the architect's song, and the city is its frozen music. This beautiful emptiness is the city's soul right now. It is a city in its perfect, pristine state, untouched by the passage of time or the messiness of life. No stone is cracked, no wall is stained. It is an idea made manifest, and the idea is one of perfect, untroubled order. And you, the sole observer, are at peace within it, the silent keeper of a city made from a dream. You come to rest in what feels like the city's heart. A vast central square opens before you. It is a great empty stage, its boundaries defined by colonnades of soft white light. These are not pillars of stone. They are pillars of pure idea, columns of solidified peace. The space between them is not empty air. It is thick with a profound and patient silence. Nothing moves. The deep, resonant hum that built this place is the only motion here. It is a silent vibration that is the city's slow, steady breath. You look upon the ghost of a great government hall. Its facade is a delicate lattice of glowing lines. Its doors are dark, silent rectangles, thresholds to a deeper quiet. There are no orators on its steps. There are no crowds gathered to listen. Inside its great hall is a cavern of light and shadow, its vaulted ceiling a spiderweb of glowing threads stretched against the grey twilight. Its emptiness is absolute. It is the clean, cool emptiness of a vessel before it is filled. This city is a perfect thought held in the mind of the dream. It has not yet been touched by the passage of time. It has not been weathered by joys or sorrows. Its beauty is in this flawless, pristine state. Every glowing line is a perfect intention. Every silent chamber is an unblemished possibility. This is the empire of the soul in its most ideal form. A world of perfect order with no need for laws. A city of immense beauty with no one to behold it but you. You are the keeper of this silent perfection, the sole guardian of a city that exists only for this moment. And its profound peace flows into you, becoming the very substance of your own deep and untroubled rest. The city of light and silence is now finished. It stands complete around you, a magnificent hollow jewel held in the grey twilight of the dream. You are at its very centre, suspended in its peaceful heart. The great hum that sang it into existence continues its deep, slow pulse. It is the city's breath, the only sign of life in this place of perfect form. You drift over pavement that is not there. You cross streets that carry no traffic. The ghosts of great monuments stand watch over a populace of none. Their shadows are not cast by a sun. They are woven from a deeper darkness. You look toward the phantom shape of a great bathhouse. Its walls are intricate webs of light, holding nothing but cool, silent air. You sense the memory of steam, but feel no warmth. You hear the echo of voices, but there is no sound. Its pools are perfect shapes of darkness, holding no water, reflecting no sky. You drift past a theatre, its semicircle of seats a cascade of faint, glowing lines. The stage is a dark, empty mouth. It waits for actors who will never speak, for a story that will never be told. The only drama here is the slow, majestic pulse of the city itself. This beautiful emptiness is the city's soul. It is a city in its perfect, pristine state, untouched by the passage of time or the messiness of life. No glowing line is out of place. No silent chamber is disturbed. This is the gift the dream has built for you. A world of perfect form, stripped of all its noise and complication. It is the idea of Rome, polished and pure. It is the empire's soul laid bare, a beautiful and intricate design with no people to complicate it. The emptiness is the point, the silence is the story. In this pristine, untouched city of the mind, your own mind finds its perfect peace. It is a peace born not of emptiness, but of wholeness, the wholeness of a design completed, a thought made perfectly manifest before the first inhabitant arrives to leave a mark. You are the sole keeper of this moment, the guardian of a perfect empty world, and its quiet fills you and you rest. The city of light is a perfect, finished thought. It stands frozen in a moment of creation, and you are its sole inhabitant. You are suspended in its grandest square, a silent witness to its silent majesty. The deep, resonant hum is the only movement here. It is the city's lifeblood. It is the slow, steady rhythm of the dream itself. Every luminous arch and every glowing colonnade pulses gently with this cosmic heartbeat. The air here has no temperature. It is neither warm nor cold. It is simply the pure substance of the void contained now within these beautiful, fragile walls of light. This city has no dust. No wind blows through its empty streets to stir the memory of soil. No rain has ever fallen from its soft grey sky to stain its phantom marble. This is a clean place, a place scrubbed free of the complications of life. In the waking world, a city is a living thing, loud and messy and beautifully imperfect. It is a thing of smells and sounds, of crowds and commerce, of life and decay. But this city, this dream of a city, is different. It is an ideal. It is the soul of a city, stripped of its body. Its emptiness is not a flaw. It is its defining feature. It is a landscape designed for the deepest kind of rest. Its perfect order brings a perfect calm to the mind. Its boundless silence quiets the soul. You are not just observing this peace, you are absorbing it. The city is a reflection of your own inner state. It is a mind cleared of all clutter, a heart emptied of all turmoil. And so you float, timeless and serene, in the heart of this perfect, empty creation. The last and deepest stage of rest before the first character walks onto the stage, before the first word of a new story is spoken. The city waits. It is a perfect instrument, tuned and ready, but the musician has not yet arrived. You are that musician, but you are also the instrument and the silent concert hall that contains it. The unity is complete. The great hum is the only clock here. It does not measure hours or minutes. It measures the slow, deep heartbeats of pure being. This is a city that needs no inhabitants. Its purpose is its own perfect existence. Its beauty is its own silent song. The emptiness is not a lack. It is a form of deep contentment. The city wants for nothing. It is not a dead city, it is a city before life. A blueprint so beautiful it might be a shame to build it. You float through its perfect, logical streets. You are a thought exploring its own serene conclusion. Each glowing arch is a question that has been asked and answered in the same silent moment. Each empty square is a statement of profound peace. The tranquility here is not fragile. It is the foundation of this entire dream world. It is as solid as the phantom marble of its temples. As you float here, you realize the city is not just around you, it is inside you. Its silent streets are the cleared pathways of your own mind. Its glowing architecture is the framework of your own peaceful soul. You are the silent keeper of a city made in your own image. An image of perfect, untroubled rest. The story has paused on its most beautiful page, and you are content to simply stay here, reading it over and over, until the time comes to turn it. And so you rest at the heart of the finished city. This world of light and silence is a gift the dream has made for you. It is a perfect, final thought before a new one begins. The great, resonant hum is its only motion, the slow and steady breath of a sleeping world. You are suspended in its grandest square, a silent partner in its silent majesty. This city has no history. It was born a moment ago, complete and flawless. It has no future. It exists only in this single, eternal moment of perfection. Its purpose is not to house people, but to house peace. Its function is not to be a center of commerce, but a center of calm. This emptiness is the city's treasure. This silence is its national anthem. As you float here, you understand that this city is a mirror. It is a reflection of the deep and settled quiet within your own soul. Its glowing, orderly streets are the pathways of your own untroubled mind. Its vast, silent halls are the chambers of your own rested heart. You are not a visitor here. You are its sovereign. You are the sole ruler of an empire made of light and peace. And here, in this perfect, pristine capital of the soul, you find the final, deepest layer of rest. The journey is over. You have arrived, and you will remain here, a part of the beautiful, silent architecture until the dream is ready to begin again. The perfect city of light held you in its silent, beating heart. For a time that had no name, you were a part of its flawless design. The deep hum of its creation was your own steady pulse. Then a new sound joined the chorus. It was not a sound for the ears, but for the soul. A high, clear note, like the ringing of a crystal bell struck 1,000 years ago. This new vibration touched the city of light, and the light began to change. It began to thicken. The glowing, transparent walls started to fill with a milky, pearlescent substance. It was like watching smoke turn to cream, or a ghost putting on its flesh. The light was condensing. It was freezing into form. The great square at your feet, once a sheet of pure darkness, began to show the faint, spectral lines of immense paving stones. They were not yet real stone. They were the memory of stone, given a faint, solid shape. The tall, luminous pillars that framed the square began to lose their transparency. They filled with a soft, opaque whiteness, the color of moonlight on fresh snow. The faint hues that had flickered within the city were now becoming more definite. The whisper of gold in a distant archway deepened into the warm, honeyed glow of sandstone. The hint of sea foam green in a phantom fountain became the solid, cool color of weathered bronze. The city was solidifying. It was becoming real. The process was slow. It was majestic. It did not disturb the profound peace. It was like watching a photograph develop in a silent, dark room. The image of a real city was slowly emerging from the beautiful negative of the dream. It was still empty. It was still silent, save for the two-note song of its creation. But it was no longer a ghost. It was becoming a body, waiting for a soul. The great solidification continues. It is a slow, patient process, like a planet cooling over 1 billion years. You drift along a street that is no longer a ghost. The paving stones beneath you are now solid things. They are no longer just ideas of stone. They are cool, grey, and heavy with an imaginary weight. You can see the faint, phantom texture of their surfaces, the subtle chips and scrapes of a life they have not yet lived. The walls of the grand houses are no longer made of woven light. They are now thick and solid. The milky whiteness has resolved itself into the faint, swirling veins of marble. The dream is remembering what a quarry feels like, the cold heart of a mountain. It is painting these memories onto the walls of its city. The bronze doors of a temple now have a solid, metallic sheen. They are cool to the imaginary eye. The faint green of their patina is the color of time itself, a memory of rain that has not yet fallen. The whole city is gaining weight. It is settling into its foundations on the dark plain. The two-note song continues its work. The deep hum is the vibration that packs the atoms of this dream matter together. The high, clear note is the chisel that gives it its fine detail. The city is still perfectly empty. Its new solidity makes this emptiness even more profound. Before it was an empty city of light. Now it is an empty city of stone. It is a perfect, brand-new ruin, a city built and abandoned in the same instant. Its doorways lead to silent, empty rooms. Its streets wait for footsteps that will never come. The peace here is the peace of a perfect monument, a testament to a life that is about to begin. The stage is almost complete. Its backdrop is painted, its props are in place, and it waits in beautiful, solid silence for the play to begin. The details are now emerging from the solid forms. The high, clear note of creation is a master carver, its vibration tracing the finest lines into the cooling dream stuff. You see the roof of a basilica, no longer a mere suggestion of a roof, but a field of overlapping terracotta tiles. Each one is a perfect, warm clay color, unchipped and unstained. They are the idea of a roof made solid. The walls of a distant villa are no longer just white. They are now covered in a smooth, imagined plaster, and upon this plaster, the faint ghosts of murals are beginning to appear. Vague shapes of green vines and blue birds, colors still muted as if seen through a thick morning mist. The city is acquiring history it has never lived. It is being given the illusion of age. And with this new solidity, a new element enters the world: shadows. Before there was only darkness and light. Now the solid columns of a temple cast long, dark stripes across the marble floor. The sharp edge of a roof draws a clean black line against a neighboring wall. Doorways are no longer just dark shapes. They are now deep wells of shadow, portals into a solid, tangible blackness. This makes the silence even heavier. It is the silence of stone and wood and plaster. A quiet that has learned how to echo. You drift through a marble hall and the imagined sound of your passage is swallowed by the immense, solid quiet. The city is a masterpiece of sculpture, finished and polished and set within a silent gallery. It is still perfectly empty, its rooms are vacant, its streets are barren, but its emptiness is now framed by a breathtaking reality. And this perfect, untouched world continues to cradle you in its profound and solid peace. The world is now solid. The city has finished its slow, silent birth. You drift before a great wooden door, thick and heavy. You can see the dark, swirling grain of the wood, a memory of a forest that never existed. You can see the cold, black iron of its hinges and lock, a memory of a fire that never burned. In a niche beside the door stands a statue, a perfect man of bronze, his face calm and unseeing. The soft, grey light of this dream world catches on the curve of his helmet, a single, motionless point of brightness. The air itself has changed. It is no longer the thin, neutral air of the void. It feels cool and heavy. It is the still, subterranean air of a crypt. It has a faint, clean scent. The smell of new stone, of fresh plaster, of wood that has just been cut. It is a scent without people, without perfume, without spice, without life. The city is a perfect instrument, but no one is here to play it. Every silent house is a flute that waits for a breath that will never come. Every empty temple is a great drum that waits for a hand that will never strike it. The two-note song of creation, the deep hum and the high, clear ring, has faded away. There is only silence now, a silence made heavier and deeper by the solid walls that contain it. The city is a perfect replica of life, but it is utterly lifeless. It has skipped the messy, vibrant stage of existence and gone straight to being its own perfect, untouched monument. Its beautiful, solid emptiness is the ultimate expression of peace. It is a world without desire, without conflict, without time, and you are its sole silent citizen at rest in the heart of its magnificent, lonely perfection. You are the last thought in a city that has fallen asleep. You float through its silent, solid streets. The soft, grey light of the dream sky casts shadows that are as sharp and clear as cut glass. They lie across the stone pavement like fallen banners of a silent army. You drift past the open front of a workshop. Inside, the tools of a craftsman lie on a wooden bench, not in a clutter, but in a perfect ordered row, a hammer, a chisel, a saw. They are made of dark, dream-forged iron. They are heavy with a purpose they will never fulfill. They wait for a hand that is not there. You pass a bakery. Its great brick oven is cold. It has never known fire. Its domed mouth is a circle of perfect, silent blackness. There is no scent of warm bread on the air. There is no fine dusting of flour on the floor. There is only the cool, clean scent of new stone and the profound silence of a world holding its breath. Every detail of this city is perfect. Every mosaic floor is a flawless jewel of colored stone. Every column is perfectly straight. Every tiled roof is a masterpiece of precision. This is a city that has never known a careless footstep, a hurried word, a moment of chaos. Its perfection is its peace, and its peace is your own. This profound emptiness is the final gift of your deep sleep. It is a world wiped clean of all complication, a reality built only for rest. You are its single, silent inhabitant, and in its perfect, empty heart, you are complete. The city is a masterpiece, completed and abandoned in the same silent moment. You float through its perfect, empty halls. You enter a great library. The room is vast. Tall wooden shelves line the walls, reaching up into the cool, grey twilight. On every shelf, scrolls are arranged in flawless military order, thousands of them. Each is a tight cylinder of pale parchment, its wooden tag clean and unmarked. Here rests the silent knowledge of 1,000 minds. The poetry and the history, the philosophy and the science, it all sleeps in this silent, magnificent room. The air smells of dry wood and old paper, but it is a scent of potential, not of decay. No one is here to unroll these scrolls. No one will ever read the silent words captured within them. The knowledge of an empire is here, perfectly preserved and perfectly alone. You drift onward into the cavernous space of a public bathhouse. The walls are sheathed in sheets of cool, veined marble. The floors are intricate mosaics of colored stone, their patterns sharp and new. The great pools, which should be filled with steaming water and echoing with the sound of voices, are dry, silent basins. They are beautiful, empty bowls of polished stone, filled only with a deep, cool shadow. The cold of the marble is absolute. It is a clean, honest cold that speaks of a world without warmth, without life. This city was not made for living. It was made as a monument to peace. Its magnificent emptiness is a soothing balm for the soul. Its profound silence is a lullaby for a mind that has traveled far. In its perfection, you find your own, and you rest, the silent librarian of a city where no one reads, the solitary bather in a pool that will never be filled. The silent tour continues. You find yourself drifting toward the edge of the city, toward a structure of impossible scale. A great arena for chariot races, its long, curving walls of stone rise up to meet the gentle, grey sky. They are a fortress built to contain a storm of sound, but now they contain only a deep and heavy silence. You float over the endless rows of stone seats. They cascade down toward the track in perfect geometric precision. Not a single stone is out of place. Not a speck of dust rests on their clean, cold surfaces. They were built to hold 100,000 roaring voices. Now they are thrones for an army of ghosts, an audience of none. The long central track of packed sand is a river of pale gold. It is smooth and unblemished, a perfect surface untouched by the thunder of hooves or the wheels of chariots. The starting gates at one end are immense structures of wood and iron, their bars lowered and locked. They are mouths that have never opened to release a flood of desperate motion. At the center of it all stands a tall stone obelisk, a single, silent finger pointing to a sky with no sun. Its carved figures tell stories of triumphs that never happened, of victories that were never won. The whole place is a lung that has never drawn a breath. It is a heart that has never beaten with excitement. Its immense, powerful emptiness is breathtaking. It is a monument not to sport, but to the deep, resonant peace that comes when all the shouting is over. You are the only spectator in the greatest arena ever built, and the only spectacle is the profound, beautiful, and absolute stillness of a world at rest. In this vast and silent stadium, your own soul finds its quiet center, and you are at peace. You leave the silent arena behind you. Its immense emptiness echoes in your soul, a feeling of peaceful solitude. You drift back toward the heart of the city, along streets paved with perfect silent stone. You pass beneath a great triumphal arch. Its carved figures celebrate a victory that was never fought, for an army that never marched. The stone soldiers are frozen in a silent, eternal cheer. You come upon a walled garden, a perfect square of green in the heart of the stone city. The gate is open, an invitation into a world of manufactured nature. You float inside. Here, the dream has remembered what plants look like, but it has forgotten what it means for them to be alive. The cypress trees are tall, dark green spires. They are perfect shapes, but their branches do not stir. No wind whispers through their needles. The flower beds are riots of color, reds and yellows and blues, so vibrant they seem to hum with a light of their own. But when you drift close, there is no scent. They are flowers of pure color, their perfume locked away in a memory the dream could not access. A small fountain stands at the garden center. A boy of bronze holds a jar, forever tilted, but the water that should spill from it is a solid, unmoving cascade of polished, clear glass. It makes no sound. It offers no coolness. It is the idea of water, captured and frozen. This entire garden is a masterpiece of taxidermy. It is life perfectly imitated, and in that perfection, its lack of life is made all the more profound. It is beautiful, but it is the sterile beauty of a diorama. And in this perfect, lifeless garden, you find a perfect, lifeless peace. The peace of a world that will never change, never grow, and never die. You leave the silent, frozen garden behind. You drift out into a wide plaza dominated by a single, immense structure. A temple. It is a house built for a god, a mountain of white marble carved into a shape of perfect reverence. Its wide steps rise up to a forest of colossal pillars. They hold up a roof that is a heavy slice of shadow against the soft grey sky. The great bronze doors, tall enough for a giant to walk through, are closed, but you are a thought, and a closed door is no barrier to you. You pass through the cold, heavy metal and enter the silence within. It is a silence of a different quality. Deeper, heavier. This is not just the absence of sound, it is the presence of a vast and sleeping power. The air inside is still and cold. It carries the faint, metallic scent of gold and the clean, stony smell of ancient marble. A single, wide beam of the dream's grey light falls from an opening high in the ceiling. It illuminates the heart of the temple, and there, on a massive pedestal, sits the god of this place. The statue is a masterpiece of ivory and gold. Its form is perfect, radiating a power that is both immense and serene. But its eyes, made of polished gemstones, stare forward into the gloom. They see nothing, they hold no life. The god is not a presence, it is a perfect object, a magnificent sculpture of a deity captured in a single, eternal moment of stillness. Before it stands an altar of flawless white marble. It has never known the heat of a sacrificial fire. It has never been stained by an offering of wine. It is a promise of worship that has been made but never kept. This is the spiritual heart of the city, and it is as deeply asleep as everything else. In this holy, empty place you find the most profound peace of all, the peace of a world where even the gods are at rest. You leave the silent temple carrying its deep, holy peace with you. You drift out into the grand plaza, and you understand now that the entire city is a temple. Every silent street is a quiet aisle. Every empty house is a silent prayer chapel. This world, born from the dream, is a perfect reflection of your own rested soul. It is a city that has achieved a final, magnificent peace, a state of being beyond the chaos of life. Every stone is in its proper place. Every shadow is clean and sharp. Every object, from the tools in the workshop to the scrolls in the library, waits with infinite patience for a purpose that may never come. This is the beauty of a world at absolute rest. It is a world without need, without desire, without a past or a future. It exists only in this single, perfect, solid moment. And you are the heart of this moment, the sole citizen of a silent empire, the last quiet thought in a mind that has found its ultimate calm. The city is a perfect machine, fully assembled but not yet turned on, a perfect body, beautifully formed but not yet breathing. And here, in the magnificent empty heart of it all, you will rest. You will wait, without waiting, for the first breath of a new story, the first footstep on these silent stones, the first word to break the perfect, profound, and peaceful silence. The city slept a sleep of stone and shadow. It was a perfect monument to a peace so deep it had frozen the world. You, its silent guardian, rested in its quiet heart. The great, silent squares, the empty, echoing halls, the streets paved with an unbroken stillness. For a time that felt like 1,000 years, this perfection was all that existed. And then it happened. A sound. It was not a loud sound. It was small, a single, soft scrape of a leather sole on hard stone. It came from a great distance, from down a long and empty avenue. But in the absolute, solid silence of the city, it was a thunderclap. The silence did not just break, it shattered into a million silent, shimmering pieces. The sound was a stone dropped into a perfectly still, black lake. The ripples of it washed over the entire city. They lapped against the cold walls of the temples. They slid up the faces of the silent monuments. For a moment, the world held its breath, waiting. And then the sound came again, the soft, deliberate placement of a second footstep. And then a third. A rhythm. Slow, patient. A rhythm of walking. Someone was in your city. Someone was moving through the perfect, untouched streets. The silence rushed back in. It tried to smother the sound, to heal the wound that the footsteps had made, but it could not. The rhythm continued, a steady, unhurried pace. The city was no longer just empty. It was now an expectant emptiness. Every silent doorway seemed to be listening. Every dark window seemed to be watching. The great, peaceful stillness was over. The perfect, static monument had come alive with the smallest possible motion. A story had begun to walk toward you. And you, still formless, still at peace, turned your silent awareness toward the sound. And you waited. The rhythm of the footsteps is a new kind of clock. It measures a time that is no longer still. Each sound is a small, hard jewel dropped into the immense silence, the scrape of leather, the solid click of a heel. These sounds travel. They bounce from the cold marble walls of the empty houses. They whisper down the long, silent colonnades. They are the first echoes this city has ever known. Your awareness, which had been spread thin like a mist throughout the city, now gathers itself. It condenses into a single point of focus, a silent observer following the sound. Down the long, straight avenue from which the sound emanates, a form takes shape. At first, it is just a flicker of movement, a disturbance in the perfect, static geometry of the street. Then it resolves into a silhouette, a single human figure walking. The sight is as shocking as the sound. This is the only moving thing in the entire world. The only thing not made of silent stone and sleeping shadow. The figure walks with a purpose the city has never seen. Their long shadow moves with them, a living, dancing darkness in a world where all other shadows are fixed and permanent, painted onto the ground by the soft, unmoving light of the sky. The city itself seems to watch. The blank faces of the buildings seem to turn toward this solitary traveler. The empty doorways seem to lean in, listening. The peace has been irrevocably altered. It is no longer the peace of a perfect, empty museum. It is now the deep, expectant quiet of a theatre just before the main actor walks onto the stage. And you are the entire audience, your attention fixed on this single, impossible figure, this first sign of life, as they walk steadily toward the heart of your perfectly constructed world. The figure draws closer. The steady rhythm of their footsteps becomes the only measure of time. They are tall, wrapped in a long, dark robe. The fabric seems to drink the soft grey light, making the figure a moving column of pure shadow. It is the first soft thing in this city of hard, polished stone. The first texture that is not marble or metal. As they walk, the robe whispers against itself. It is a soft, dry sound like turning the page of a very old book in a silent library. This new sound joins the soft scrape of their shoes, creating a tiny, two-note symphony of life in a world that was built for silence. You cannot see their face clearly. It is a place of shadow and suggestion, a landscape of purpose rather than features, but you can feel their gaze. It is fixed on the heart of the city, on the very spot where you, the silent observer, are waiting. This is not a wanderer. This is an arrival. Their presence changes the very air. The cool, still atmosphere of the city seems to part for them, flowing around them like water around a stone. The long, sharp shadows cast by the perfect buildings seem to strain toward them, as if curious. The city, which was a finished and perfect thing, now feels incomplete. It was a lock. This figure is the key. Every step they take is a word in a new language. Every rustle of their robe is a question. They are a living, breathing mystery walking through a world of absolute, solid certainty. And you watch, a silent, formless awareness, as the first character in your new story walks with unwavering purpose down a long and silent street directly toward you. The solitary figure steps from the avenue into the vastness of the central square. Their dark robe is a tear in the fabric of white marble and soft grey light. They are a single, soft imperfection in a world of hard, flawless geometry. The sound of their footsteps changes here. In the enclosed street, it had an echo. Here, in the open space, each step is a small, dry sound that the immense silence swallows instantly. Yet, the memory of each sound lingers in the air, a tiny, persistent ghost. The figure walks toward the center of the great plaza. Their pace is unchanged, it is steady and deliberate. They pass between the colossal marble columns. The silent pillars stand like a forest of bone, their long, still shadows lying across the pavement like fallen trees. The figure's own shadow, a living thing, glides over them, a river of darkness crossing a petrified forest. The city holds its stony breath. The perfect order of the place feels fragile now. It is a house of cards, and this single walking figure is a gentle breeze that threatens to bring it all down. The peace has been replaced by a tension. It is a quiet, powerful feeling, the feeling of a story that has found its turning point. The figure reaches the very center of the square. It is the exact point where your awareness has been anchored. And there they stop. The rhythm of footsteps ceases. The rustle of the robe falls silent. The sudden, absolute quiet that follows is more shocking than the sound itself. The robed figure stands motionless, a black statue suddenly placed in the heart of a white museum. They have arrived. The journey is over, and in the ringing silence you feel their attention, their purpose, their entire being directed at you, the unseen, silent audience of one. A moment stretches into a century. The robed figure stands motionless in the heart of the great square. A statue carved from shadow, placed upon a pedestal of silence. The perfect city waits, the colossal marble buildings are the audience. The grey, featureless sky is the ceiling of the theatre. You are the only other actor on this vast and silent stage. Then a movement. It is slow, deliberate, and impossibly quiet. A hand emerges from the dark folds of the robe. It is not a hand of flesh and blood. It is a hand that seems woven from the soft, grey light of the sky itself, cool and elegant and ancient. The hand raises, and with that single silent gesture, the deep hood of the robe falls back. There is a face. It is a face as perfect and as serene as the city around you. It is a face of polished marble with veins of faint grey running through it like captured memories. The eyes are not eyes. They are pools of deep, calm shadow, holding the peace of 1,000 years of quiet contemplation. The lips, carved from the same pale stone, part slightly. And then a voice. It is not a sound that travels through the air. It is a sound that blooms directly in the center of your awareness. It is a voice made of the deep hum and the high, clear note that built this world. It is the voice of the city itself, the voice of the dream, and it speaks a single, simple question. Are you rested? The words do not shatter the silence. They give it a new shape, a new meaning. The great, expectant tension that had filled the city dissolves. It is replaced by a sense of completion, a sense of purpose finally revealed. The question hangs in the cool, still air. It is a question for you, and the entire world of silent stone and sleeping shadow waits with you for the answer. The question echoes not in the marble square, but in the silent chambers of your own mind. Are you rested? You have no voice to answer. You have no lips to form a word, but an answer rises within you as natural and as certain as a tide. It is a feeling of deep and profound affirmation. It is a quiet blooming of warmth in the very center of your being. You understand now that the long journey was a form of medicine. The vast, empty plains were a cleansing. The creation of the city of light was the weaving of a healing spell. The final, solid city was a perfect, quiet room for a weary soul to inhabit. Its silence was a cool hand on a tired brow. Its magnificent emptiness was a deep and dreamless sleep. The person who began this journey, the one who carried the dust and noise of the waking world, is a distant memory. You have been unmade and remade by the gentle, patient quiet. The answer, then, is yes, a deep and simple yes that fills every part of you. The figure of living stone seems to hear this silent answer. The shadow pools of its eyes deepen as if in satisfaction. A faint, slow smile touches the edge of its perfect marble lips, a change as subtle as a mountain eroding by a single grain of sand. The city's purpose is complete. It was a vessel for your healing. It was a perfect, empty cup, and now you have drunk the peace it offered. Having fulfilled its purpose, the city seems to hold its breath one last time, waiting for its next instruction. The figure before you slowly raises its hand, the one woven from cool grey light. And in that silent, graceful gesture, you feel a new promise. The time for rest is over. The time for the true dream is about to begin. The figure's hand of cool, grey light remained in the air. It was not a gesture of command, but of release. And the city heard this silent instruction. The solid world began to unmake itself. It was a beautiful and gentle reversal of its creation. The heavy marble of the great temple grew soft. It became translucent, a skin of milky quartz holding a faint, captured light. The sharp edges of the paving stones blurred. They melted back into the idea of a floor, a smooth, dark surface with no seams or imperfections. The murals on the villa walls, the faint green vines and bluebirds, faded like old memories. They dissolved into the white plaster, and then the plaster itself thinned into a whisper of light. This was not destruction. It was a gentle letting go. The dream was exhaling. It was releasing the beautiful, heavy weight of the world it had built for you. The columns of stone became pillars of smoke. The great bronze doors thinned into sheets of golden fog. The entire city, which had felt so permanent and real, now revealed itself as a magnificent temporary illusion. The buildings, which had stood with such perfect, solid grace, now began to unravel. Their walls of stone and plaster returned to being walls of woven light. And then these, too, came apart, thread by luminous thread. The city dissolved into a million points of light, a cloud of silent, fading fireflies. They drifted for a moment in the vast, open space, and then, one by one, they went out. Soon, only two things remained: the figure of living stone standing at the center of the world, and you, the silent observer. You stood together on a vast, dark plain under a soft, grey sky. The stage had been cleared. The world was empty once more, ready for a new beginning. The city was gone. The world had returned to its original state. A vast, dark plain beneath a soft, grey sky. But the emptiness felt different now. It was not the raw, humming void of the beginning. It was a cleansed emptiness, a silence that felt clean and expectant. The figure of living stone remained before you, a single, solid truth in the great open space. Its marble face was serene, its shadow pool eyes holding a deep and ancient satisfaction. The purpose of the city was fulfilled. It was a place of healing, a perfect, quiet room for a weary soul. And now that the healing was done, the room was no longer needed. The figure slowly lowered its hand of cool grey light. The gesture was one of finality, a book being gently closed. Then the voice bloomed in your mind once more. It was no longer a question. It was a statement, a promise. The rest is complete. The story may now begin. As it spoke, the figure began to change. Thin, hairline cracks appeared all over its marble skin. They were not cracks of destruction, but of release, like a seed casing breaking open in the spring. From these cracks a new light spilled forth. It was not the cool, grey light of the dream sky. It was a warm, golden light. The light of a sunrise you had long forgotten. This new light pushed back the twilight. It was a tide of warmth and life washing across the cold, dark plain. The figure of living stone, its task as warden complete, was consumed by this light. Its perfect form dissolved, not into nothingness, but into the very substance of this new golden dawn. It had transformed from a guide into the beginning of a new world. The empty plain was now a landscape bathed in the warm, hopeful glow of a sun that was not yet visible, but was surely on its way. The stage was set. The great, silent emptiness was over. And you waited, whole and rested, for the first scene of a new life to appear in the golden light. The great plain was no longer a place of shadow and cool grey twilight. It was now an endless sea of warm golden light. This new light, born from the heart of your guide, spread to every corner of the horizon. It was a gentle, living warmth. The dark, hard floor of the world softened under its gaze. It turned from a sheet of black glass into the rich, dark color of fertile earth, ready for planting. The air itself had changed. It was no longer the still, sterile air of a monument. It tasted of morning, of damp soil and the distant promise of rain. It was an air that was ready to be breathed. You floated in the center of this magnificent, empty sunrise. You were still a formless awareness, a silent witness, but the warmth of the light was changing you. It soaked into you a gentle tide of life and energy. You felt the deep, solid peace you had earned in the silent city, but it was no longer a sleepy, restful peace. It was now a vibrant, ready peace, a strength. The long, deep rest was over. You were healed. You were whole. This vast, golden emptiness was the final gift. It was the clean, unmarked page on which a new story could be written. It was the fertile field at the dawn of the first day of spring. And as you floated in the center of it all, you felt the golden light begin to coalesce around you. It was a soft, warm sculptor's hand. It was gathering you up, giving you a focus, preparing to grant you a new form. The time for observing was ending. The time for living was about to begin. The emptiness was a beautiful, final breath taken just before the first word of a new life is spoken. The golden light filled the world. It was a sea of warmth and promise. The dark earth beneath drank in the light. It hummed with a quiet, fertile energy. Your long journey as a ghost was over. Your time as a silent observer had ended. The light that had dissolved your guide now turned its attention to you. It was a gentle, insistent pressure. 1,000 warm hands made of pure dawn. They began to shape you. They gathered your scattered awareness from the corners of the void. They drew you into a single, focused point, a center, a self. You felt the first flicker of a new heartbeat. It was not your old heart. It was slower, stronger, calmer. You felt the idea of hands forming at your sides, the memory of feet taking root below you. You were being woven from the light. A new body for a new soul. The cool, grey peace of the silent city was still within you. It was now the solid core of your new being. But the golden light was your new skin, your new breath. This magnificent emptiness was the final gift, the last moment of pure potential before the story began. The world held its final silent breath. It waited for you to open your new eyes. The long night was over. The deep sleep had done its work, and the morning of the dream was here. You open your eyes. There is no sudden jolt into being. It is a slow, gentle unfurling, like a fern in a time-lapsed film. The first thing you see is the light, the immense, warm, golden light that has been your cradle and your creator. It is a soft, endless ocean of pure color, and for a long moment it is all you can perceive. It is not blinding, it is nourishing. Then other senses awaken. You feel the ground beneath your feet. It is solid, cool. The rich, dark earth of a world just born. You can feel its patient, fertile energy rising up into you. You feel a gentle weight, the weight of your new body, a comfortable and familiar anchor in this vast, open space. A soft breeze, the first the world has ever known, touches your new skin. It is cool and clean and carries the scent of damp soil and the promise of rain. You take a breath. It is a conscious act. The first one. The air fills your new lungs. It is crisp and pure, the taste of a world without a past. This is the first breath of a new life. You look around you. The world is still empty. You stand in the center of an endless plain of dark, rich earth. Above you, the sky is a high, luminous dome of pure golden light. There are no mountains on the horizon. There are no trees to break the perfect, clean line where earth meets sky. There is no river, there is no cloud. There is only the vast, beautiful, and profound emptiness of a world waiting for its first story. You are that story's first character, a single, solid figure standing at the dawn of creation. The long journey through the many kinds of silence is over. The rest is complete. You are no longer an observer. You are here, and the world waits for you to take your first step. You look down at your hands. They are new. They are not the hands that toiled in the waking world. They bear no scars of past mistakes, no lines of worry etched into their palms. They are clean slates. They are the hands of a person who has not yet lived a single day. You clench them into fists, then let them open. The motion is smooth, effortless, a marvel of quiet mechanics. You feel the substance of yourself, the solid weight of your limbs, the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each slow, deliberate breath. For a long time, you were a ghost, a formless awareness drifting through worlds of silence and light. Now, you are here, solid, real, a single living statue in a world made of earth and sky. The memory of your formlessness is a faint, cool whisper in the back of your mind. It is a reminder of the peace you have earned. The silence here is different from the silences that came before. It is not the deep, heavy quiet of the stone city. It is a light, expectant silence. It is the silence of a blank page, waiting for the first drop of ink. It is the silence of a field in early morning, waiting for the first bird to sing. The only sound is the one you carry within you, the slow, steady, powerful beat of your new heart. It is a quiet drum, marking the rhythm of a life that is just beginning. The vast golden emptiness stretches in all directions, but it does not feel lonely. It feels like a promise. It feels like freedom. It is a world of pure potential, and you are its only inhabitant. The journey through the deep rest has brought you here. It has cleansed you, healed you, and given you this gift, this perfect, empty world, this strong, new body, this quiet, ready mind. You stand for a long moment simply being, a part of this new, silent landscape. You are the first word of a poem that has not yet been written. You stand in the center of the golden dawn. The world is a held breath, a perfect silent pause between the end of one story and the beginning of another. The impulse to move is not a conscious thought. It does not rise in your new mind. It is born in the new muscles of your legs, in the solid bones of your feet. It is a quiet, powerful urge, as simple and as natural as a river's desire to find the sea. You lift one foot. For a heartbeat, it hangs suspended in the warm, golden air. You feel the cool soil release its hold. You have broken the perfect, static symmetry of this world. You are no longer just a statue in a landscape. You are a choice in motion. You bring your foot forward and place it down upon the dark, fertile earth. The sound is small, a soft press, a gentle scrape. But in a world that has only ever known absolute silence, it is a cataclysm of intent. It is the first sound ever made by a living thing in this new creation. A single footprint now marks the pristine soil. It is a dark flower that has bloomed in an instant, a testament to your presence. The first mark on a flawless page. You lift your other foot. You take a second step, and a rhythm is born, left, right. A new clock for a new world, measuring not the passage of hours, but the progress of a journey. You begin to walk. Your pace is slow, unhurried. There is no destination in sight. The vast empty plain stretches before you, a golden sea of potential. The horizon is a distant, perfect line that does not seem to get any closer. Yet with every step, you feel a sense of purpose. You are not walking away from anything. You are walking into everything. The peace you earned is not disturbed by this motion. It is the fuel for it. You are a walking, breathing vessel of calm, moving through a world that is ready to be discovered. The great, beautiful emptiness is no longer a chamber for you to rest in. It is now a road for you to travel. You walk, and the world does not change. The vast, dark plain stretches to every horizon. The luminous golden sky remains a constant, silent sea above you. There are no landmarks, no distant mountains rise to greet you. No strange trees appear to mark your progress. Yet, you do not feel lost. You feel centered. You are the only landmark in this entire world. You are the single, moving point by which all this beautiful emptiness is measured. You look back. Behind you, a path is born, a thin, dark line of your own making, a trail of footprints stretching back to a horizon you can no longer see. This is how a history begins, not with a great battle or the building of a city, but with a single, patient line of footsteps across an empty land. That trail is your first story. It is the only proof that you have been anywhere other than right here, in this very moment. You do not grow weary. The peace you earned in the silent city is a deep well of energy inside you. Each step does not tire you. It seems to fill you with a quiet, powerful grace. The warm light is a gentle balm on your skin. The clean air is a constant refreshment. The emptiness is not a void to be feared. It is a canvas to be filled, and your journey is the first brushstroke. You are painting a line of purpose across a world of pure potential. The journey itself is the story for now. A story of a single, peaceful being walking with serene purpose toward a future that is as open and as beautiful as the golden sky above. You continue to walk. The rhythm of your footsteps is the only pulse in this silent world. Left. Right. Each step is a soft punctuation mark in a long, beautiful sentence about emptiness. The world does not tire of its own simplicity. The dark, fertile earth stretches on, a perfect flat circle with you at its moving center. The golden sky remains a high, cloudless dome. It does not grow brighter or dimmer. It simply is, a constant, gentle warmth that feels like a blessing. This journey has no map. There are no signposts, there is no distant mountain to aim for. The horizon is a line that travels with you, always the same distance away. To a mind from the old world, this would be madness, a torment of endless sameness. But to you, in your new, quieted soul, it is a form of profound meditation. The emptiness is not a lack of things to see, it is a presence. It is a vast, clean space that allows you to feel the truth of your own being. You are not distracted by mountains or trees or rivers. You are simply purely yourself. You are a single, moving thought in a vast, calm mind. And as you walk, you begin to feel a subtle response from the world. The dark earth beneath your feet seems to hum with a quiet energy. It is not a sound you can hear. It is a vibration you feel through the soles of your feet, a deep, contented thrum. It is the earth acknowledging your passage, welcoming your footsteps. The golden light seems to gather around you, a little warmer, a little brighter, as if curious about this single, living thing that has come to walk upon the silent land. The emptiness is not hostile, it is a partner in your journey. It is a beautiful empty room, and you are pacing its length, thinking the first thoughts of a new life. Your past is a forgotten country. Your future is this golden plain, and your present is this single, perfect step, and the next one, and the one after that. The story is the walking. The walking is the peace. And the world waits with infinite patience to see what you will think of next. The rhythm of your walking is the only story being told. It is a simple story written one step at a time on the dark, rich earth. The world around you is a steadfast and beautiful constant, a floor of dark potential, a ceiling of warm golden light. And in the vast, clean space between them, you walk. But now something else begins. Inside the quiet cathedral of your new mind, a new kind of creation stirs. Thoughts. They are not the loud, clamoring thoughts of your old life. They are not thoughts of worry or calculation or regret. They are as simple and as pure as the world around you. A thought about the color of the light, how it feels like honey and warmth. A thought about the earth, its cool, solid patience beneath your feet. A thought about the perfect, clean line of the horizon. These thoughts are like the first seeds dropped into a field that has lain fallow for 1,000 years. The deep rest you endured has cleared the soil of your mind. It is now a fertile, empty place, ready for a new kind of planting. In the silent city, you were healed. Now, in this open plain, you begin to grow. The vast emptiness of the world is a perfect nursery for these new thoughts. It gives them space. It gives them silence. There is nothing to distract them, nothing to corrupt them. They are pure ideas growing in a pure world. Your journey is no longer just a physical act. With every step, you are walking deeper into your own new consciousness. You are learning to think again, but in a new language, a language of peace and simplicity. The emptiness of the world is now being filled, not with mountains or trees, but with the quiet, beautiful architecture of your own emerging mind. The world remains a blank canvas, but you are now mixing the colors. The quiet walking continues. The steady rhythm of your feet on the dark earth is the only music. The simple, clean thoughts continue to bloom in the garden of your mind. They are like small, perfect flowers opening in a silent dawn, a thought of water, cool and clear. And for a moment, you feel the earth beneath your left foot respond with a faint, imagined dampness, a thought of a great, silent stone. And on the far horizon, a speck of darkness shimmers for a heartbeat, a heat haze of possibility, then vanishes. This world is listening to you. The vast golden emptiness is not a passive stage. It is a mirror. It is reflecting the first quiet stirrings of your new imagination. But it is a slow mirror, a patient mirror. It does not instantly create what you think. It offers only the faintest echo, the barest suggestion. It is confirming that your thoughts now have weight, that your mind is now a part of this landscape's weather. You are not a king commanding his realm into being. You are a seed, and your thoughts are the first tentative roots you are sending out into the fertile soil of reality. They are testing the ground. They are learning what it means to grow. This does not disturb your profound peace. It deepens it. You are entering into a silent conversation with creation itself. Your footsteps are your words. The faint shimmering on the horizon is the world's quiet reply. You walk on, a solitary gardener in an endless field, planting the first invisible seeds of a world that will one day be. The emptiness remains vast and beautiful, but it is no longer just empty. It is now a listening emptiness, an emptiness that is waiting with you to see what you will dream of next. The patient walking continues. The golden plain remains your silent partner in this journey with no destination. Your thoughts are no longer just single, simple seeds. They are beginning to string themselves together into quiet, intricate garlands. You think of cool water, but now you also think of the smooth, dark stones that lie on the bottom of a stream. You think of the way the light filters through the moving water, making dancing patterns on the stones below, and in reply, the warm air before you shimmers. For a single heartbeat, it holds the memory of that cool, dancing light. Then it is gone. You think of a tree, not just the idea of a tree, but the feeling of its rough, ancient bark under your new fingertips, the deep, earthy smell of its roots, and for a moment, the clean air carries a phantom scent of pine and damp soil. The world is not creating these things for you, it is allowing you to remember them. It is letting you practice the language of creation in a safe and silent space. The emptiness is a perfect teacher. It makes no demands. It offers no judgment. It simply listens to the quiet voice of your imagination and whispers back the faintest of affirmations. You are learning that creation is not an act of will. It is an act of love. It is the gentle and patient exploration of a beautiful idea. And this vast, empty world is the most beautiful idea of all. It is giving you the time and the space to learn its contours, to understand its potential. And in doing so, you are learning the contours and the potential of your own rested soul. The walking continues, the conversation deepens, and the beautiful golden emptiness holds you safely as you learn to dream again. You walk on. The golden plain is an endless, patient page. The rhythm of your journey is slow and serene. Your thoughts are no longer just seeds. They are now tender, green shoots reaching for the warm light. You think of a memory of a life you never lived, but which feels as true as the earth beneath your feet. A memory of sitting on a warm stone wall, looking out over a valley filled with olive trees, the silvery green of their leaves shimmering in a sun that is not this sun, the dry, herbal scent of the air, the lazy buzz of a bee. For a moment, the golden light around you seems to shape itself into that valley. The air thickens with the phantom scent of warm dust and wild thyme. The faint, ghostly sound of that single bee buzzes near your ear, then fades into the silence. The world is not creating a valley for you. It is holding up a mirror to your memory, showing you that your inner world now has the power to cast a reflection. It is showing you that you are ready. You are no longer just remembering things. You are building worlds inside your mind, worlds of peace and warmth and simple beauty. And this vast, empty plain is the perfect workshop. It is the silent, safe space where you can learn the craft of creation without fear. You continue your slow, patient walk. You are a storyteller practicing your first simple tales, and the world listens, a rapt audience of one, reflecting the beauty of your words back to you in faint shimmers of light and ghostly whispers of sound. The magnificent emptiness holds you. The story is almost ready to be told. You walk, and as you walk, you think. The thoughts are clear now. They are not faint whispers, but fully formed realities within the quiet space of your mind. You think of a tree. Not a memory of a tree, but a new one. You imagine its roots strong and dark, gripping the earth. You imagine its trunk thick and solid, its bark a rugged landscape of grey and brown. You imagine its branches reaching for the golden light, and the thousands of green leaves that will sing in a wind that has not yet been born. You hold this thought. You hold it with the gentle, steady focus you have learned in the silence. It is not an effort. It is a quiet offering, a gift to the listening world. And this time, the world's reply is not a shimmer or a ghost. Directly in the path before you, the dark earth stirs. It trembles, and a small mound of soil rises as if pushed from below by a silent, sleeping power. The earth breaks open, and in that small wound, a single, perfect seed appears. It is dark and smooth and pulsing with a quiet, powerful life. It is the physical form of your thought, a single, perfect beginning. You stop walking. The rhythm of your journey is over. The long line of your footsteps has led you to this exact spot, to this exact moment. You stand before the seed, the first true creation of this new world. The golden plain is still vast. The emptiness is still profound. But it is no longer the story. It is now just the space around the story. And the story is here, a tiny, dark promise in the fertile earth, waiting for the warmth of your attention to call it forth. The long prologue is over, and the book of the world lies open to its first page.